Hello everyone, welcome to our workshop on Python and its implementation in ML. I am Kaustav Tripathi, one of your instructor for this workshop, and I will be explaining you the basic concepts and also some special tricks in Python. As you know, Python is a very extensive language and it has got a lots of special things inside its sleeves. So we're gonna work with that. And then later in the video, one of my colleague will explain you some intermediate concepts of Python, such as its object-oriented feature. And that's when we will end our session, workshop session of today. But tomorrow we will again come back with where we will explain you two very important libraries of Python that are Numpy and Pandas library, and those two libraries are very much useful in creating our machine learning models, which is our next goal to where we will show you a hands-on creation of a machine learning model, and we will show you how we are going to use those concepts that we will learn today and tomorrow in Python, and we will use those concepts in creating that machine learning model, and we will predict something really awesome tomorrow. Okay, so I want to tell you something. We do have a sponsor for this workshop, and that is deeplearning.ai. And its founder, Andrew Ng, has a message for everyone, and where he will be interacting with his employees. They will be explaining their perspective towards artificial intelligence and its scope. So let's see the video, what he has to say for this.
Hello, deep learners. I'm Andrew Ng, founder of deeplearning.ai, and I'm excited to welcome you to our global deep learning community. I know that many of you are here today because you want to break into AI and build your career. I hope that being part of this community will help you to do so. To give you a proper welcome, I'd like to show you around the deeplearning.ai offices and meet some of the teams so that you can see where it all happens.
Oh, hi, Andrew.
Do you want to tell our friends at Pine.ai what you do at deeplearning.ai?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I make articles and other media that help people learn about AI and help them understand the huge impact that AI is having in the world. Today, I'm putting together the next issue of The Batch, our weekly newsletter, and I'm looking for the biggest stories of the week to keep our readers informed.
What's been the most surprising thing you've run into working on The Batch?
How much is going on in this field? There's never a dull moment. You might think from the outside that machine learning engineers really understand everything about AI, but nobody understands everything about AI because this field is just coming to life right before my eyes as I put this thing together every week.
All right, I know you're really busy, so let you get back to it.
Thanks. See you later.
Let's go meet Kian, who helped me create the deep learning specialization. He's working on an exciting new project. Hey Kian, so do you want to tell the people at Pine.ai what you're working on?
Yes, sure. I'm leading a project called Workera, focusing on helping people get offers in AI and navigating their career by testing their skills, preparing for interviews and certifying them, as well as matching and referring them to good jobs in AI.
That's really cool. And what's the most exciting part of your day?
The AI field is new, organizations and jobs are still misunderstood, so I'm excited to help people understand what different types of jobs exist in the field, what tasks they will work on, and what skills are needed to achieve those tasks.
Yep, and that's really important work. Well, it's nice chatting, and now let's go chat with Hotel, who is on their product team.
Hey, Andrew.
Do you want to say hi to our friends at Pine.ai and let them know what you're working on?
I would love to. Hi, everyone. I lead the product team in deeplearning.ai, where we create AI education content accessible to people all around the world. People like you.
And what are you most excited about right now?
I am so excited to see our community grow and to see how eager people are to learn more about AI.
Thanks, also.
Thanks, Andrew.
So, as you can see, our team is working hard to support you and help you learn. It's never been easier than before to break into AI. So if you want to build a career, you can leverage online resources available, including open source code, datasets, papers, and online courses like a deep learning specialization on Coursera. As part of this journey, I hope you get your hands dirty too. Don't be afraid of diving in to build your own project, or go ahead and try to replicate a research paper that you're excited about. One thing that I've seen help a lot of people succeed is if you can build a community or find a community of fellow deep learners you can meet with and study with on a regular basis. In fact, I hope that this Pine AI meetup that you're at right now will be a good place for you to meet these people. I hope you enjoyed the event today and that you learn a lot both from the talks and from each other. And once again, welcome to the deeplearning.ai community.
Noise problem. Okay, so I think noise is good. I've checked it. So, okay, so let's start. Now, guys, if you are learning a Python language and you wanna starting or learning anything, not just a Python language, if you are starting learning anything, always are two questions comes in mind. Why am I learning this thing? Why not any other thing I should learn? And the second question is, how is it gonna help us in the future? How we can whatever we are learning today, it will help us in the future, because we have seen lots of people learning lots of stuff then that are not even required for them to even learn, that are not even required for them to use in the future, but they just learn everything that they see in front of them. They just like the name of that topic and they just learn it. So to answer those two questions, I want to first explain you why we are learning Python and why not any. So that's like a comparison between Python and the other languages. So we are learning Python because it's easy to write and understand, and that's why it has become the developer's first choice. Because Python can be easily written because it's mostly an English language kind of writing. You're writing in English language. You don't have very special keywords in there. It's just proper English language. And second, you can easily understand it also. Then it requires a lot less code than any other programming language. It's like if you are using any other language like Java, C, C++, or MATLAB, you have to write a lots of code to do some tasks. But in Python, maybe you can do those tasks in just one line. That's the speciality of Python. You will see today in the coding, I will show you where I will convert 5 to 6 lines of code in just a one line only. And then basically how it's going to help us in the future, the question comes. It's going to help us in the future is because, as I told you, Python is so easy to understand and learn. Most of the big companies, major technological companies basically, are using Python right now. They are hiring students who have a good knowledge on Python. And then also the biggest field right now, most growing field right now is data science. And the student in the data science field are, they are in the data science field. The Python has a most extensive, network, because Python has the extensive amount of libraries than any other language that is working in the data science field. Like if you talk about R, SAS, MATLAB, Octave, Python has the most extensive libraries and much easy to work with than any other programming languages. And that's why even the companies related with the data science also approaching for the Python programmers to make the models with the Python. So now to let's come to the Python. Python is basically created by Guido van Rossum in 1991. And right now we are using it. It's right now it has recently launched 3.8 version of it, and it's an interpreter high level programming language. Now, what do you mean by interpreter? Interpreter is a thing that executes the code. Now, there are two kinds of executions. One is a compiler, and second is an interpreter. So what compiler does is you write a huge amount of code, and then what compiler does, it just read all the code and then executes those whatever the output you want to give it. Okay, you are expecting. But what interpreter does, it just read one line of the code, it executes it, then move on to next line, execute it, then the third line, execute it. And that's why most of the time Python is not called as a programming language, it's called as a scripting language. It's hardly in some places you can say it as a programming language. Otherwise, it's not a programming language, it's a scripting language, because it's like a script. You got a one line, that's a one task, it completes the task, then it moves on to the next line and then complete that task, and then third line. It's like if you are using a shell programming language or bash scripting. So Python works exactly like that. That's why it is called scripting language. So if you want to install that interpreter in your computer, in your PC, there are lots of distributions around here. Like most popular is the Anaconda distribution. I mean, there are lots of ways to download Python interpreter in your computer, but I prefer Anaconda distribution. Why? Because it is completely built for data science. It has complete data science toolkit. As you can see, this is the Anaconda website, and it is completely available. Your data science toolkit and all. And it has got an extensive amount of libraries, a huge amount of libraries, very good IDs, all inbuilt with this distribution. All you have to do is go to this website, anaconda.com/product/individual. And then in this website, when you will come at the bottom, you will see here, this is for the Windows, Mac, and the Linux, there are installers are present over here. According to your computer specifications, you can just click on it and it will immediately start downloading. I already have Anaconda in my computer. It is all set up over here. So I'm not going to install it, but you can just click on it and it will start installing. Now you see it is a size of like 466 MB, 397 MB, and some are like 500 MBs. And if your computer is not, you don't have that much storage, your computer is not that strong, okay, then you can also prefer to, this is Anaconda, you can prefer to Miniconda here. It's getting opening. Yes, this is a Miniconda website, docs.conda.io/en/latest/miniconda.html. We will provide these two links in the description later. Okay, so you can download the Python from here, and you see here the size is really small, 55.7 MB for Windows 64-bit computer and 49 for Windows 32-bit computer for the latest version. I would ask you to download the latest version, Python 3.8. Okay, because in the Python 2.7 or the any 2 series, there are like lots of things have changed with the Python, so it's a good to download the latest version because we will be working. Okay, same thing for the Mac and Linux users. If you are using a Mac or Linux is a complete command line, so you can download it from here. And for the Mac users, command line and normal graphic installer are present over here with their separate sizes. So you can download it from here. And when you will download it, then there will be a wizard will open. And to understand that concept, let me show you how you're going to work with a complete installation process. Okay, to whatever you are using, just if you are installing on Windows, Mac, Linux, all of this represent over here. Let's start with the Windows right now. So I'm gonna open installing on Windows. You see over here, this is present over here. Like first you download the Anaconda installer, then the wizard will open. Just open that installer. The wizard will open. You have to click next, read the licensing terms, click I agree, and just simply normal installing processes. Select install for just me, you are using for yourself, not as a company or something. Then install location, just provide it some location in your computer, C drive, D drive, whatever, where you wanna download it. Then this kind of a screen will come where you have to choose these two options, whether you want it as your path environment variable or as a default Python. Well, right now it says use the default version as a default Python 3.7. But if you are a beginner right now and you are only working with Anaconda in your computer, you don't have any other special ID in your computer, and you are a beginner, you are starting, I would say just select it as a path environment variable over your Python. Okay, so I prefer using Anaconda to my path environment variable, but it's your choice. It will work fine. Then just keep on selecting it, next, and it will completely install on your computer. Okay, then when it is installed, then you can you will get a option of like in the start menu you can go and search for the Anaconda Navigator option. It's a software through which you can start your Spider ID. Now Spider ID looks like this. Let me show you. This is how a Spider ID looks like. You can open the Anaconda Navigator. There will be lots of IDs present over there: Spider, Jupiter, and all. You can select either the Spider or the Jupiter. We will be working on both of those IDs. Today we are working on the Spider, and tomorrow we will be working on the Jupiter too, so that you can understand the working of both the IDs. And then whichever you like the most, whichever you feel most easy, you can work on those on that ID only. Okay, so this is how our Spider ID looks like. Okay, now this is the place section where we write our code. In this section where this is written. Okay, and there in this small section, the right bottom, this is an IPython console where whatever the program you will run, it will be its output will come over here. Then this is a section where you see there are like small options present over here: help, variable explorer, plots, files, profiler, code analysis. So help is whenever we need some kind of a help with the code, like we are using some method and we want to know what this method does. So we can take a help from here. Okay, so Spider has all kind of documents and can help you with whatever you are using over there. Then there's a variable explorer section, which I will keep all these things I will explain you with the course. Okay, there are variables and all that we will be using in the program. It will display over here. Then the plot section, here all the graphs will be displayed, whatever the graphs or the images that we are using in the program, it will be displayed over here. Same here in the file section, whatever the working directory you are in, all the files of that directory will be shown over here. Then this is a profiler. It will just profile your whatever the code you are writing. And this is a code analysis. Now it will read your code and it will analyze, do a little bit of an analysis on the code. You don't need it much. It's for the developer purpose. Okay, so this is a code. Now one thing very good thing about Spider ID is like you can just change your working directory from here, whichever the directory you want to work in. Okay, so right now I've created one folder over here in my drive D. Okay, and it is Python workshop, and I selected that folder, and now this is my folder. It has got no right now files inside. You see I have file sections open and there is no files present inside of this folder. Nothing is there, right? It's a complete empty. So whatever we are gonna work over here, we create our own working directory, and whatever the files required related with that program, we just put it inside of that working directory, and that we will also see later in the code today only. Okay, so let's start our first code, right? And we will start with one of the legendary code. Let's move this section and let's zoom it a little bit. Yeah, one of the legendary Python, any programming language first line code, and that is print hello world. Okay, so you see now if you're talking about any other programming language like Java, C, C++, you got lots of starting lines, like you have to import some libraries, and then you have to create an object. Use in Java you have to use public static void main and all, if you know the Java, if any of the Java person is present over here. And if you are using any C++, then also there are some starting lines. You have to create a main function and all. But in Python you don't have to do anything. You can just write the first line, print hello world, and then select the line and press F9, and you see here in the output section it prints hello world over here. Okay, same way you want to do an operation over here, like let's say 5 plus 7. And if I run this much of the code, F9, and you see output I got 12 over here in my output IPython console screen, right? So it's a super simple to work with. Whatever you want to write, whatever you want to do, just immediately directly write it. Okay, there's no some predefined things inside of it. Yeah, there are some keywords and concepts inside of it that I will explain you, but not very difficult to understand than any other programming language. Okay, now to start the program, this our programming Python, the basic building blocks of any programming language are its data types. And let me explain you what is data type. Right now you will be blank. What are data types I'm talking about? So I'm opening my this PowerPoint slide, and it explains what our data types are. Now the data types are the building blocks of any programming languages. Okay, there are 8 important data types that we are going to study in the course. Now data types are like int, float, integer. To accept an integer value we use a int data type. To accept any decimal number we use a float data type. To accept some kind of a list we use a list data type. So data types defines the type of the value of a variable. Now what kind of a value we are storing, that defines the data type of it. Okay, as Python is dynamically typed, data types of the variable changes with the value being assigned to it. Now Python is dynamically typed, that I will explain you when I will be coding. Okay, and this concept I will explain you when I will be coding you, and I will show you how what I mean by dynamically typed. Okay, dynamically typed means the program by itself understands what kind of a data type should be used at what place. In other programming language, this does not happen. You have to define the data type, but in Python program, it from itself understands what kind of a data type we are going to use and use accordingly. Okay, so let's see what our data types are. Now we have these 8 data types present over here. First is integer, floating point, strings, list, dictionary, tuple, sets, and booleans. Now what integers are? Integers are the whole numbers such as 3, 300, 200, any number that we are writing that comes inside of an integer. Then there's a floating point number. Numbers with a decimal points like 2.3, 4.6, even the 100.0 is also a floating point number because we are using a dot, a decimal over there. Then strings. Strings are ordered sequence of characters. Means you took some characters like you can use alphabets, you can use numbers, you can use some signs of Chinese or whatever the language that is Korean. Okay, and you can just mix them up and create a string. Those if single letter can also be a string, and multiple letters combined together creating a word is also a string. The only condition is the string should be enclosed in double inverted commas or the single inverted commas. Then we will move on to lists. Now lists are ordered sequence of objects. Like you see here 10 over here, that's like an integer. Then hello in double inverted commas, that means it is a string. Then 200.3, it's a float over here. And all of these 3 if comes under the square braces, all these 3 or anything, any object that comes under the square inside the square braces becomes a list. Now one thing I want to tell you in the strings, yeah, there is this saying 2000 over here. Now this time 2000 will not act as a number. It will not act like, you can't write 2000 like this with double inverted commas and do some like 2000 plus 20 becomes 2020. No, it will not happen because right now 2000 is not an integer, it's a string, and it will not behave accordingly. So it will behave like a string, and I will show you how it works like a string when I will be explaining you all the concepts in the string. Then our comes in the dictionaries. Now dictionaries are unordered key value pairs. Now key value pairs means like there is some key of it and it has got its value, like some product and its price. Same way, you put a product in double inverted commas over here and its price over here, or whatever the value is. Okay, if it's a string, you put it inside double inverted commas. If it's a number, you put it normally. Okay, same way. Like for an example, you can see name Frankie. Yeah, this is a very good example over here. Then we can talk about tuples. Now tuples are ordered immutable sequence of objects. Now immutable means these are a sequence of objects that cannot be changed. You can't change any of the object that is present inside of it. You can add it, you can remove it, but you can't replace it. Okay, you cannot replace like remove the hello and put something else in between. No, you can't do that. Okay, so this is the quality of a tuple and it is enclosed with a small braces over here. Now sets are unordered collection of unique objects. Now sets are nothing. It is a very less use case. Now sets are used like you create some kind of a list and it just removes the duplicates. When you convert that list into a set, it removes the duplicates from that list. So that's why we use sets to remove them, basically the duplicates. Then comes the booleans. Booleans are basically two logical values, true or the false. It checks whether a condition is a true or false and it stores in whatever the variable we are using. Okay, so let's get on to our spider ID and do a practical on all of these concepts. So I told you about the integer and the string. Let's remove this. We don't need it right now. Okay, so let's say int, as I told you, integer, to create an integer, we need a int, right? But I told you in Python we don't have to write int or anything. It dynamically accepts whatever the value we are passing to a variable. Okay, so let's say if I say I is equal to 10, a is equal to 10, sorry, and if I run this code, if I run this code F9, and you see it ran a is equal to 10, and if I see my variable explorer section, it says name is a, type is integer, and size is 1, and its value is 10 over here. So type, you can see here is an integer. Size, I will explain you what size is. Size is like, size of an integer. I have only one value present over here. That's why its size is 1, and name of the variable is a. So to understand the variable also, let me first give you a quick view of what are variables, so that we can work more efficiently and you can understand the concepts of the variable. So now variables are the reserved memory location to store values. So what happens is our variable is like a storage space where we can store the whatever the value we are want to store. It's like a box in which we store the values. You can think variable as a labels with name on it attached to values. Yes, like if suppose you want to use a value 10 in some places of the code, so what you can do, either you can write 10 everywhere, or you can put 10 into some variable like a, and you can use that a all over the code wherever you want to use 10. There you can just simply write a, and it will act as, because it's storing the value 10, it will act as a 10 value. Now in Python, variables do not need explicit declaration. That's what I told you, dynamically typed thing. In Python, we don't have to say like this is we don't have to tell them like this is an integer, this is a float, like int a is equal to 10. No, we don't have to do that. We can simply write a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20.5, c is equal to some kind of a list. We can dynamically use it. Assigning variables makes coding easy. Now, yes, this is a very easy normal thing, that if we assign the variables to some some values, then our coding becomes easy, because we can know that what value we are using, what kind of a value we are using at what place. In Python, we can do multiple assignments simultaneously. Yes, that's the one good thing in the Python. We can do multiple assignments, like in one line only we can assign multiple values. Then rules for assigning a variable. Now, variable's name cannot start with numbers. Now, like if you want to create a variable, we cannot name that variable. Like suppose we want to create a variable x. So I cannot create a variable 1x over there. Okay, any variable name that starts with that starts with any number is not allowed. There are no spaces in variable name. We use underscore instead. Yes, in variables name you can't put space in the between, like you are creating, like suppose there is a variable name code warriors, so you can't put a space in between the code and the warriors. You have to put an underscore over there. Then variable name only consists of alphanumeric characters A to Z, 0 to 9, or one symbolic character, that is underscore. It's we can understand it like you can only use from capital A to small z, all capital letters, all small letters, or 0 to 9 numbers. Just numbers should not come in the starting point, or at any other place it can come. And the only character that we can use in the variable name is underscore. Now, variable names are case sensitive. So yes, it's a normal thing. Variable names are all case sensitive. All these, four, you can see the variation of name is written over there, and all these four have a different meaning over there. Okay, you can't say capital NAME is equal to 10 and then start using a small NAME. No, it will give you an error. It will say small NAME is not defined. So if you are using a capital NAME, you have to use capital NAME everywhere, wherever you want to use that value. So now let's come to our Spider ID and see what I'm talking about all of this. Okay, so as I told you, we have written this code over here, a is equal to 10. Okay, so this here we have assigned it integer, and it says the type of a is integer. But right now, if I say a is equal to 20.7, and now if I run this part of the code, and you see here in the variable explorer section, a automatically becomes a float, and its value is converted into 20.7. Then I say a is equals to code warriors, and now I run this code. Now, sorry, a becomes a string, and its value is code warriors, and size is still 1 because there is only one variable, one value inside of it, and that is code warriors. Same way we can create a list, like I say a, I can say 1, comma, let's give it some letter code, comma 20.7, comma, let's give it a number also. And now if I run this part of the code and I press F9, and you see here it's a list with the size of the 4. Size of 4 means there are 4 objects present inside of it, 1, 20, and 20. If I open it, you see here these are the indexes, and these are all 4 items that are present over here. Okay, now same way about the dictionary. Again, we will use how a Python keep understanding what a is, and it keeps changing it. You can create a dictionary saying, let's say, and we will give it code. That's it. And now if I run it, now a becomes a dictionary with a name of a name as code. Run it. You see, key name is. Let me see if that expands. Yeah. See, key is name, type is string, because this whole thing is a dictionary. But what present inside of the dictionary is a string, because it is in double inverted commas. Okay, type is a string and value is code. Now at the same time, I put name is equal to 800, like a Mazus 800. And if I press this line, now if I open it, it says key is name and its type is integer and size is 1 and the value is 800. Okay, so it becomes an integer because right now we are using an integer inside of an integer as a value. Okay, so now same thing is for the tuples, the sets. I will explain you. I will be explaining the tuples and sets explicitly. Okay. So now when we talk about multiple, there is a thing we talk about variables, multiple assignments. So what happens is, like I say, x is equal to 10, and I want to say y is also equals to 10, and z is also equals to 10. I want to create these 3 variables. So what I did, I run 3 lines. I created 3 lines. I run 3 lines of code, and all 3 values are assigned as a 10. But what I can do is, I can just say x equals to y equals to z equals to 10. And I can run this kind of code, and now all of them become 10. Let's change the values. I get 100. Okay, and now if I run this, all x, y, z in one line becomes 100 only. Okay, so that's called multiple assignments. Like we can assign like one value to multiple variables, or we can assign one variable multiple values. Okay, and that example we have seen up there only, where I did what a is equal to 10, and then I put a float, then I put a string over here. So we will keep on changing the values of a variable a. Okay, now we were talking about the rules in the variables. Like as I said, variable cannot start with a number. Okay, so if I say right now I said x is equal to 10. Okay, but if I say 1x equals to 10, let's see if it works or not. It says invalid syntax over here, and you can see also a cross is shown over here that's saying invalid syntax. 1x cannot be written. Now if I just do a little bit of editing in the code and say x1 equals to 10, and if I run this code and it works perfectly fine, and you can see in the variable section also x1 is 10. Okay, so same way we can also put an underscore over here and it will work perfectly fine. And underscore, we can also put underscore in the starting and we can just put F9, and you see underscore x is equal to 10 is also work perfectly fine. Okay, so this is the rules and all the variables in the Python. Now let's start. I've explained you integer. There's nothing much in the integers and the floats. They are like basically the numbers. Okay, let's remove all of this. Okay, there's nothing much in the integers and the floats. It's just basically the number, like for the number you assign it, and you can work with it. You can use normal operators like x is equal to 10 plus 6, or you can not do like this. I mean, x is equal to 10, and y is equals to x plus 6, and I think this should work. And you can see here y is become 16. Okay, so it can work like this. You can also do x equal to 10 plus 6. I was confused. Okay, you can just say f9 and x equal to 10 plus 6 will also become 60. Okay, so numbers are nothing. You can use normal operators like you can use the division operator, or you can use the multiplication operator and all. Okay, so this is all in the numbers and the floats. So the main thing that starts is from the strings. Now strings are what? You create some string like, let's say str_1. If I say create a string str_1, and I say let's give it a string some code warriors. Okay, so this is a string. I run this line of the code, and I've got a one variable str1 as code warriors. Now in strings we can do a lot of things. Okay, as it's a a sequence of all characters only. So in the strings we can apply the concatenation. We can do the indexing and slicing. Now concatenation means like I have written this string and I want to add some other thing in the string. So what we can do is we can just create str_2, and it says workshop, and I just plus sign over here and I say str_1. And if I run this line of code, when I see in the variables explore section of string 2, it says workshop/code warriors. Let me put a little space over here. And if I run this line of code, and it becomes workshop code warriors. Same thing you can do with the print also. You can say print, and you can write exactly this much of the code over here. And if you run this line of the code, and in the print section also you can see in the output section workshop code warriors. So that's how we do the concatenation, the string. Then we can add two strings also. Like I created workshop. There's like a string 2 is workshop code warriors, and string 1 is code warriors. Okay, so I can create a str_3 that says str1 plus str_2, and if I run this line of the code, and it says str3, if you see, read code warriors workshop code warriors. Okay, we can also put a like a little bit of a space in between, and we can okay, now if we run it, code warriors workshop code warriors, you just provide a little bit of a space. Now which space can be space is covered with the double inverted commas. Then in the strings we can do indexing. Now to understand the concept of indexing, let me whatever the letters we write over here. Okay, like let's say we wrote code warriors inside of a string. Okay, now these values are present inside of a string, right? Now the indexes will be like the C will be at index 0, O will be at index 1, B will be at index 2, E will be at index 3, and the space, whatever the space we are using, will also have its own index. Then W will be at index 5, A 6, 7, 8, 9, and O will be at 10, R will be at 11, and S will be at 12. Okay, so that's how their indexes are all divided. Okay, so now if you want to fetch some letter from this string code warriors str1, this string, now how are we going to do it? We have to simply say print str_1, and we put the index number of it. Let's say I want to see 0. Now if I run this line of the code, it says at 0 C is present. Now 0th index is a starting index, and at that index 0 is present. Now if I say I want 10, now let's see what is present by 10th index, and 10th index it's C O present of the warriors, the third last. Same thing. Right now we are starting from the left hand side to right hand side. We can also start from the right hand side and we can say -1. Now what it does, it gives us the last value of the core warriors. Okay. Now when we put a minus, it starts from the last of the string, from the right hand side of the string, -1. If I put a minus over here, and it will be R. Same thing, I put a -3 over here, and it will be O. So you see, it starts from the back side of the code warriors. Now this is called indexing in the code warrior, indexing in the strings. Now we can, what if I say I want a complete code? I don't want a one letter C. I want a complete letter. I want a complete letter code to be printed out of this code warrior. So how we can do it? We know the starting index, that is C. So we put our starting index over here, and then we put our end index where we want to stop. We want to stop at E. So 0, 1, 2, and 3rd. E is at the 3rd index. So we always take in the at the end point we take a 1 greater index. So we will put a 0, 4. And if I run this line of a code, in the output screen you can see we got a code over here. We fetched all items. Now this is called slicing. Now let me show you how slicing works actually. What's the basic concept behind this slicing is. Now when I say str_1 and I put the square braces, then let me just. So this is basically the working of it. We put a starting point, we put a stop point from where we want to stop, and we put a step. Now if we are not using any of these three, like suppose we are not using the right now, we are not using the last one, so it will become as a default as 1. So same thing happens over here. I did put a start at 0, so it starts from 0. I stopped at 4, it stopped at 4. Now stopping point is always 1 extra 1 plus where you really want to stop. Like you want to stop at E, so at the code warriors, you want to stop at E of the code. So you see the E is at the 3rd index. So what you will do, you will put a 4 over here, 3 plus 1, because it goes 1 less. It starts from the starting point, but it stops at a 1 earlier point. Okay, so you put a 1 extra point over here, and then you give it a stepping point, like whatever step you want, how much steps you want to take. Means like you want to take a 1 jump, or you want to take 2 jumps. Like suppose if I say this, I say go up to 10 and make a jump of 2. Now let's see what it will print. Now it gives me the output of CD space AR. So what it did, it starts jumping 1 item at a time. So it skipped O, goes to E or D, then skip E, goes to space, then skip W, goes to A, then skip 1 R and goes to the 2nd R, and that's where our 10th index lies, and the program ends over there. Okay, so same thing. So if you want to start from the last, so you just just run this. Okay, we have skipped the starting point as 0. We have to just change the complete logic of it and do the line, and you see it starts from the ending. Now it starts from the 10th index, that is O, and goes up to the 1st index with a stepping point of there's no stepping point right now. It is not using any stepping point because I've given -1, and if I just give it -2, it will start skipping 1 letter. I give a -3, it will start skipping 2 letters. The same things. If you don't want to give any stopping point, you can simply leave it and it will go up to the last point. Same thing, you don't want to give a starting point, you can just leave it, okay, and it will go start from the starting point and end at the ending point, whatever the ending point of that is. And you see, we have just converted our code warriors, create a reverse of the code warrior string. It's a reverse of whatever code warriors is. So this is indexing and slicing in the strings. Now we will talk. There are some methods inside of a string, like if we say str1 and I put a dot over here, then you see there are lots of methods present, like format, join, split, replace, strip, lower, encode. So let's work with some of the methods, some important methods. Like first method is len, and what this does. Sorry, this does not work like this. If you want to find the length of a string, you put a len and you put a str1 instead of a. And if you run this line of a code, you get a complete length of the string, which is 13. So if you see, you got 13 items inside of this string over here. If I open it, let's see if it shows. Okay, you see, this code warriors has a 13 letters inside of it. You read it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There are around 13 letters inside the code warriors, and that you can find it by using the length function over here. Now we can use some other methods like str. If I say str1 dot upper, and if I run this, now you see the output of the here. Our str1 becomes it just capitalize the complete string. Now if I store it in the str1 variable, if I run this, now you see in the variable section also our code warriors become capital letter. Same way we can just use the lower method, and it will just convert the complete string into a lowercase. Now we can also do one thing. This is one good method. You can like, let's say one, this is our code warriors, and do a split. And if I do split, and now if I run this program, now you see what happens is our string is divided into a two, let's say converted into a list, and it says code comma warriors. It is divided into two parts, and it created a list. And what happens is it basically breakdowns at the part of a space where we have provided the space to this string. It breaks down to it and created a list. Now if I provide a letter, some letter inside, let's say R. Now what happens is, now if I run the code, now our string is breakdown at the part where R is present. Like the R is present at W. This first R is at after WA. So what happens is our first object of the string is up to that point, and then it breaks at the point, and again starts from the IO, then again breaks, and then brings up S. So that's the split. And this is mostly in the string. You can understand more concepts in the string, or just try with all of these methods that are present over here. You can see there's like a strip method, splitlessness method, count method, index method. You can use all these methods, find method, join method to work with. Okay, I'm not going to explain you all the methods over here because there are lots of methods to work with. Now I'm going to move to the next, the data type, that is list. I'm going to remove all of this. Now list is, I told you, list consists of number of objects present inside big braces. Like, so let's say if I say list underscore 1, and if I put like something 10 comma code 10 comma 8.7, now this becomes a list. Okay, now this is a list over here. And if you want to test it, I haven't told you earlier, but if you want to check what kind of a data type it is, you can simply say type and list underscore 1, and it will tell you what kind of a data type we are using. Now list1 is a list kind of a data type. It gives you a list over here. Now for the string, you can check it by putting a string name variable over here, and will give you a string name. So list is all there same concept that we applied on the string. Same concepts applied over here, like the concept to check the index. So we can say list underscore one, and we can put a 0th index over here. And now if I run it, it gives me the at whatever the value is present at the 0th index, and that is 10. Now if I open it, you can see at the 0th index 10 is present over here. Now there's a one small thing, yeah. Okay, and same thing happens with the slicing. Also, like we need two objects at a time. I just say 0 up to the second index, and if I run this, I got the two objects 0. Okay, wait a minute. Let me run this line again. Yeah. Now you see I got the two objects over here, 10, comma 2. Okay, because I did that same indexing and slicing that we applied in the string, same applies over here in the list. Okay, and also the concatenation. If I create some other list like list underscore 2, and I put on side of it, let's say I give it one variable on the warriors, or let's give it a one more like 200. Okay, I give it two variables over here and F9. Now if I say list underscore 3 is equals to list underscore 1 plus list underscore 2, and if I run this line of code, now you see our list 3 becomes list 3 has both the elements of list 1 as well as of the list 2. See 10 code 20.7 warriors 200. It has got all of the codes inside of it. So that's how you can do little concatenation of two lists. You want to add two lists, you can do it this way. Okay, so this is on the list. Now there are lots of methods on the list, as lists are mutable. Mutable means you can change any value of the list at any time. If I say list underscore 1 and I put index 0 equals to 20. If I run this line of code, and you see our list 1 over here changes. Now the index 0, we got a 20 over here. Okay, we just change the value. We can change the value at any time inside of our list. That we can do with a string or with the tuples or sets. But you can do it with a list. And we can also like we have got these three values inside of a list, and we want to add another value. So we can say list 1 dot. Now it is also have lots of functions over here like append, pop, start, index, remove, insert, count, reverse. We're gonna use some of them. Like I'm going to use right now append method over here, and the append method want to we write inside whatever we want to append in the code. Like I want to put let's say I want to put a numbers like 100, okay, as a string number, and if I run this line of code, I see our list 4 operations of it, and the last one is 100. Same thing if you want to insert at some particular position, so you can say list 1 dot insert, and insert accepts two variables. One is the position we want to give, means the index, so I say let's say 2, and what you want to put over there. Like at the 2 I want to put warriors. Now if I run this line of a code, you see here it becomes 20 code warriors 20.7 and the 100. Okay, now we can also, if you want to remove anything, okay, we have been talking about the adding stuff. Now if you want to remove the stuff, we can say pop method. Pop means popping out something, removing something, and inside we can, you see here it says list.pop. You have to put the index. Which index you want to pop? I want to pop let's say I want to pop the 0th index of the list. And if I run this line of code, and you see in the output it says 20, and the 20 is removed from our list. That's some code warriors. Okay. Now same thing. You if suppose there is a list. This 4 is equals to how should I write it? Comma 30. I write all of these, create a list of just numbers only, and if I put a F9 over here, so what happens is I did a F9 and I run this code, this much of the code. So I've created a list just of the numbers only. Okay, you can see here, list has got the only numbers present inside of it, and have only numbers. You can use a one very good method. Let wait a minute. You can use one dot method. Um, just sort your whatever list. You have to put a list name inside of it. Oh, no. On this mode over here, and I press, wait a minute. Now if I run this code, now list is sorted. But actually our list was already sorted, so I change this values over here. And if I run these two lines of the code, now you see our list becomes sorted right now. Okay, all the values in the list have sorted. So now same, there are other methods also that we can apply. Like we can use the reverse method, which will just reverse your string. If I say list one dot reverse over here, and through this you can just reverse your string. And if I run this much line of the code, and you see my list one has just got reversed. Now same you can do also. You can put a remove method, and this will remove the complete list. And there are other methods available. Just just give it a check out other methods, and just try these methods. If you are facing any problem, just put in the comment chat section. Okay, will help you over there. So write in the chat section if you are facing any problem up till now part. If you are facing any problem up to the list part, just put in. Okay, your voice is breaking, cracking voice. Okay, this must be a little of a network problem because weather is not good over here, my place. Okay, there is no problem. Continue, sir. Continue. You're doing great. So thank you, Kshitish Sharanupta. Okay, so this was a remove method over here through which you can remove the complete list. Then you can also use a del method. It's suppose you want to do some index or some value for the list. You can say del list, and you can index over here and run the code, and you see here again the index 0 is removed. So these are all the methods inside of a list. You can also delete the complete list. You can say del list, and it will remove complete list. You see from our variable section, list one is gone, completely deleted. Now we basically use this method is because sometimes we want to save the memory and we don't want to use some variable. Then we can use this del method, and we can delete the complete list. Okay, so I think this much is a lot in the list section. I've explained you a lot. So like around 5 to 10 minutes break, so that you can just do whatever I have explained you up till now. Just do it, and the 5 to 10 seconds, 5 to 10 minutes, we will be back again and explaining you anything. And if you face any problem, just put it in the chat section. We will explain. We will sort you out immediately. Okay, so we are taking a 10 minutes break, and I will be back after 10 minutes. Okay, so I was reading the chat and um one of you guys has asked me, sir, tell us related to the sorting that I just explained in the list here. No, in the if you are sorting in the list, then there's a different method to sort the list in ascending or descending, and that we apply with the help of a for loop, and that I will explain you later. Where with the help of a for loop, I will be doing the not just the for loop. Basically, there's a method called sorted, and the help of that I will show you how we can do the sorting in ascending or descending order. That I will show you. Don't worry. Yes, you can apply the reverse is equal to true method also. Reverse is equal to true makes, if you say reverse is equal to true, that means it will work in the descending order. If you say reverse, if you are not giving anything, or you say reverse is equal to false, it will work as ascending order. Okay, Naveed Nizami, you have used this dot remove and you have put a x inside of it. You don't have to put a x inside of it. If your x is a list, whatever the list is, you have to like my list was right now a list 2 available over here. So if I say list 2 dot remove, if I use the remove method like this, and you don't have to give any parameter inside of it. And now if I run this line of code, move takes exactly one argument. Okay. Let's see where this is going. You have to put a value, means whatever the value you want to remove from the list. Like in list 2 I have warriors and 200. So 200 is also a string. I say list remove 200, and let's see. Now from the list 2 it has removed 200 from out of the list. Okay, that's how a list works. So Naveed, you said x is not a list. Yes, obviously you have to put whatever the values inside of the list, you have to put that over there. Okay, voice is really breaking. Okay, it must be an internet issue right now. Okay, let me check my connection again. Okay, it should not be a problem right now, I think. Okay, are you getting my voice clearly right now? Can you please tell me if you're getting my voice clearly? So if it is, let's start again. Please write in the chat section if you are getting my voice clearly. Okay, so now there's no breaking in the voice, no cracking. Everything is audible. Okay, almost away. Yes. Okay, so let's start. So we have completed the list here. Now let's start with the dictionary. Okay, I'm gonna remove the whole code right now. Now dictionary. I told you dictionary is like your key value pair ordered sequence, unordered sequences. So that means if I create a key over here like name is equal to code, and then okay, both will be in they both are keys are always in the string format, and if your value is a string, then you put it in a string format. If a value is a number, you put it in a number format. Okay, and you use this colon between them. this is a key and code is a value. Now again we create another key, let's say age. Suppose if we create a key age and we give it a value like 1, suppose. And now if I run this dictionary, now we've created a one dictionary over here, DICT as a dictionary. Let's not use the correct. Okay, this one thing, you see, I use the DICT over here and it is shaded in the orange. Now variables are never shaded, they are remain in their normal format. Okay, so if you are getting a shaded, don't use those as a variable, because they are also keywords, and sometimes in the programming you might get conflicted with those two things. So it's a good practice not to use the keywords as a variable names. Okay, so I will use it as a dict1, and I run this. I got a variable as a dict1 here, dictionary, which has got two values inside of it. One is, two key value pairs, name, code, age 1. And if I just open it, you see here, one is a string, that is name as a code, and another is an integer int. Now in the dictionary, I can also do a it has a mutable, so I can change any value. If I say dict_1 and I give it a values like there I pass a key, suppose age, and I say age is 2. Now if I run this code, now you see the dict1 age becomes 2. Okay, we can change whatever the key we want to change. We want to add any key, we can also add a key. In this, let's we want to add a key in the, we can simply write dict_1 and give it a key name like suppose whatever one more name, and that is, I'm not getting actually what to write over there, so it's, I say warriors, sorry, equals to string warriors. And now if I run this code, one more item is added into a dictionary, and it is warriors. Okay, now you can also create a nesting inside of a list. Let's say this was my list, and I can create a list over here for the age, and I can say 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 4, let's say. And if I run this line of a code, I've created a list inside of a dictionary. You see this dictionary over here that's got age as 1, 2, and 4, which is a list right now, and name is a string type. Okay, and the same thing. Now if we want to access any element, as I show you, this is a way of accessing the element. But what now is, it's a list, and now how we can access it? Now if we just print it, let's see what happens. If we print this big age over here, and it gives me output as a list 1, 2, 4. But what we want only a 1 over here. So what are we gonna do is, we're gonna pass another value over here, and that is we will put the index of the list. Like let's say if I post a 0 over here. So when I run it, now we got in this age key, the index 0 value. So that is 1 over here, you can see in the output screen. Same thing, we can apply the slicing also. We can say 2. Yeah. And if I run this, we got 1, 2. Both of them we got. Okay, so this is a dictionary. Now dictionary is basically, the more concepts I will explain dictionary in tomorrow I will be explaining the pandas. Now pandas data frame. The dictionaries are basically used to create the data frames, and that I will explain you tomorrow how we can convert these dictionaries to create a very big vast data frames. Okay, so there are some functions also in the dictionary, like as I say dict_1.keys, and if I run this, of course, it gives me the name of the keys that are present inside the dictionary, that are name or age. Same way, if I put values over here, it will give me the values that are present inside of it, that is 4 and 1, 2, 4. Same way we can use other methods like pop, item, clear. Now clear is completely removed. We can again use a del dict and it will delete your dictionary. Okay, dictionary is deleted right now. Dict1 is not present over here. Okay, so these are all the methods inside of a dictionary. Now let's talk about tuples. Now tuples and sets are very general. They don't have a much of a big use inside of a Python. But yeah, you can understand tuples are like a list, but they are just immutable. You can write tuples as 1 is equals to 1, 2, 3. Okay, now this is a tuple. Okay, covered inside of a these small braces, and they are of the same. Okay, and you can also create tuples like 2_1 equals 2. You can write 1, 2, 3. Now this is also a tuple. Okay, so these are all the tuples. Now you can, in tuples there are two most popular methods, and basically the two methods I think. 2, 1 dot count. Now what it does, it counts whatever the number of values present inside of it. Now suppose I say like 3, 3, 5, 3. Okay, so let's run this line of code first. Now this is all present inside of a tuple. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 3, 5, 3. Now if I say 1 dot count 3 and I run it, it says 3 is present 3 times inside of this tuple. As you can see, it is present 3 times. So that's how we use tuples to count the number of values, duplicate values present inside of it. Same thing we can, there is one more thing, like we can use the tuples one more method to 1 dot index. And what it does, if you write, I say 3 again. So what it will do, it will give you the index of the first value present inside that tuple. So I pass down 3, so it will find the first 3 present, and it will give you the index of that 3, which is right now 2, 0, 1, and 2. So it is present in the 2. Now if I say over here 1, and now if I run it, now I get the index 0. But because 1 is present, the index 0. Now this is all in the tuples. There's nothing much to work in the tuple. Just understand tuples are immutable. Once you create a tuple, you cannot replace the value. You can either add a value, you can remove a value, but you cannot replace a value. That's the thing in the tuple. Okay. Now let's talk about the sets. Now sets are the very special things. Like they are like unordered collection of unique objects. Means these sets contains whatever the set you create. They will always have unique objects. No objects will be similar. Like in tuples, we have put three times inside of the tuple. Okay, but you can do it in the sets. Just remove all of them. Just keep one value of the same type. Okay. So if I to work with a set, you have to create an object. So I create an object here is my set, and set over here. Now this creates an object for the set. I run this line of code. Now it creates the object my set. Now I can work with a set. Like if I want to add something into the set, I can say my set dot add, and I can say 1. Now let's see. Now it added 1 in the set. Let's see where my set is. Now you see here my set, and it has got one integer type value of 1. Okay. Now if I again do my set dot add, and I pass 1 again. Now what it will do, it will not accept it. Okay, it will just keep only one value as of 1. Okay, now same thing you can try it with a list also. Suppose I create a list. That's list 1 equals to 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 1. This is a list I have created. Okay, now if I add this list and convert it into a set, my set dot add list underscore 1. Now let's see what happens. Or you basically this concept doesn't work over here. You can do it also like this. Set. I'll just write my list. I'm sorry. List underscore 1. Name of the list. And if I run this line of a code, you see in the output section it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It just removed all the duplicates out of this list and put it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is how we use. This is the reason why we use set to remove the duplicates out of some list or the numbers. That where you don't want the duplicates to enter, you use the sets. That's the only application of sets in the Python. So this is where we cover all the data types. Oh, one small data type is left, that is Boolean. Boolean is true or false. That I will explain later when I will be talking about conditional statements, because it's a logical operator. So when we will be talking about those statements, then I will explain you what Boolean is, true or false conditions are. Okay. So this is all in the data types. If you're facing any problem, just put in the comment section. I'm going on the comment to read the chat. If you're facing any problem, do write over there, and I will explain you. Thank you, Logic is the game. Actually, we are trying to make this webinar for the very beginners who are starting Python, and we are taking it to the intermediate level so that everyone can get a help from whatever we are telling you today. Yes, that can have only integers. Okay, at what time will session end? Okay, it will take around 1 to 2 hours more, depends. How to open .tiff file in Python? Actually, we are not reached up to that point. So when I will reach up to that point, then we will talk about how we are going to open some files inside of a Python. Right now, we are just completing the data types. So let's talk about the data types and all. Okay, we use underscore because there's no reason to use underscore. It's just, I can also say list one. Okay, but I use underscore to make it look more clearer, like list underscore one. Okay, there is nothing you can put. It's your choice. You want to put it in underscore, you don't. It's your choice. There's no reason behind it. Whatever kind of variable you want to put, you can put it. Okay. No, you can, Prasa, you can't make a set with just using a curly braces. You have to create first object for the set, and then you can work with the set. That curly braces thing is of the maths, where you use sets with the maths, you use sets. But in programming, you cannot use the curly braces. Vasanti Behera. Okay, we use set, as I told you, we use set where we want to avoid duplicate items inside of our, whatever the variables we are creating or whatever the data we are creating. If we are avoiding we want to avoid the duplicate values, there we use the set. Now list is like if we want to contain lots of items inside of a one thing. So we create a list and put all the items inside of the list. List is, you can generally know what English meaning of list. That we use in daily ways. A list, we create a list of items that we want. So that's the list. Then tuples when we don't want anything to get changed inside of the tuple. Whatever the fixed value we have provided, it remains that. In that cases, we use tuples. So can you explain the basic difference between list, string, and dictionary? Okay, lists, as I told you, it's a general list that you create. Here in home, you create a grocery list, like same thing is over here. You create a list of items and that you put it, okay, and you access it with the help of indexes. Okay, now a string is like a word, sentence, or a character. It present inside of a double inverted commas. That is a string. Now in list you can put a numbers also, but in strings you can't put a number. If you put a number in double inverted commas, that number will convert into a string. Okay. Then dictionaries are key value pairs. Means every key has its own value. That you can understand much more clearly when I will be tomorrow explaining the data frame. There you can understand it more clearly what key value pair means is. No, someone has asked me, does set list one, Mohammed Irfan Mohammed, you said, does set list one will update the list one? No, it will directly, it will not update the list one. You have to put it in a variable, then it will update. Okay, if you say list underscore one is equal to set list underscore one, then those values that came out of that method will go to the list one, and then the list one will get updated. Manas Ohara, where can we change data? What kind of data you are talking about? What data set use mostly in ML? List, tuple, or dictionary? I would say all the three are used most in the ML. Okay, the data frames that you use, they are made of dictionaries. Okay, and those dictionaries are comprised of the lists. So you see the logic behind it. Okay, and we also use a tuple. There's a less use of tuple, but yeah, we also use tuples in some places. You can also check our if you missed something in the course, you couldn't understand any particular topic. We are also on the Code Warriors channel. We have a complete course on Python, machine learning, and computer vision. You can go there. You can understand the particular concepts over there also regarding the whatever the topic you are talking about. No, you can't put a. Yes, you can put a dictionary in a list, and vice versa also. You can put a list in a dictionary and a dictionary in a list. You can do both ways. Ritik Mohapatra, the list, tuples, and array, they are all the same kind of concepts. Tomorrow when we will be explaining you NumPy, then NumPy is a array concept only. Arrays are not inbuilt inside of the Python, so we use a library NumPy to use arrays, and we will see they are all three same almost. Just a little bit of a small differences of mutability and immutability. Manas Ohara, I don't understand what you're saying. Where can we change data? Tuples are faster than lists because tuples are immutable. You cannot change them. They have a fixed size present over there. So it is not taking some extra memory and all. That's why its data structure, because of its data structure, it is faster than the lists. Okay, so I think let's start again. Okay, we have completed the data types. Now let's come to the conditional statements. Now I'm gonna just remove all of this, and one thing, we have got lots of variables over here, okay, and lots of output screen over here. We've reached up to the 85. Let's clear everything right now. Okay, I'm just going to restart my kernel, and it will just refresh everything over here. Okay. No, we are not recording the session. This is a live. Yeah, but it will be available on the YouTube. If you want to, refer it back, you can check it on the YouTube on our channel. It will be available freely. No, you cannot concatenate the items between list and the tuple. Ritik Mohapatra, you cannot concatenate between these two items. Okay, so you see our kernel is restarted. All the variables are gone. We have got this output screen is saying ln1. And now let's start our conditional statements. Now in this conditional statement, I have left one data type, that is Boolean data type, that will also explain over here. Now conditional statements are like if, then else, elif. Now, okay. Elif. Okay, so what happens is if these conditional statements are like, if this condition is true, then run this much line of the code, else run this much line of the code. Okay, so let's say if I say, let's do this, and I say if x equals to 5 equals to 5, then print x. Okay, and I just give the value of x as a 5 over here, and if I run this line of code over here, that's 9, and it gives me the output of 5 over here. Now if I say if x is equal to 6, then only print x, else print something else. Let's print hello. Okay. Now if our if condition is true, then it will print x, otherwise it will print hello. So let's run this much of the code and let's see what happens. So you see the condition was false, x was 5, 5 is not equal to 6, and that's why it says it does not run this if section of the code, and it goes to the else part and says print hello. Now same thing, if I want to say over here, I want to put elif. Now I want to put another condition, x is equal to 7. Okay, then print x. Okay, so what I did, I created a one condition where x is equal to 6, then print x, then another condition where x is equal to 7 and then print x, and then there is a else condition where print is hello. Now if I run this much amount of the code, so you see again it goes to the hello part because none of the statement is true. But if I say 7 over here, and if I run this much of the code, now you see I got the output of 7 over here, where x is equal to 7 and this elif condition is true over here. So this is all in the if statements. Now right now I use the x is equal to 6. I can say x is greater than 6, then I can say x is less than 6, x is less than equal to 6, x is greater than equals to 6, and x is not equal to 6. These are all the logical operators that we can apply in the if statement. Now when we say x is not equal to 6, that means the statement is true right now, right? The condition is true, and that is what Boolean is all about, right? If it is true, run this much of the code, else run this of the code. So these are all the statements. If you're not having anything to write in the the elif statement, like you want to leave it for the later, like you're writing a big program and you come at this point, you said I want to write something here but later after I work other part of the code. So what you put, just put a pass over here so that it won't give you error, because if you leave it empty like this, and now if I run this much of the code, it will give me an error saying expected and indented block. So what we do, we put a pass over here to avoid this error, and interpreter will completely ignore the word pass and will move on. Okay. Now one more thing, you're saying we are creating this space over here, this indentation. This I'm using a tab as an indentation. I'm giving a space everywhere. So what this space basically means is, now if I want to run something inside of the if, now some code is inside of the if. So to show it more properly, now in most of the programming languages they use curly braces like this. Okay, wait. They use curly braces like this. Okay, but in Python we don't use curly braces. We use the space, this indented space over here, which describes that this much of the line of the code will run inside of the x. If I say print 5, now these two lines will run if this condition is true, otherwise it will not run. Same thing is over here also, in here. Okay, now if you want to give 2-3 statements, you use the elif, otherwise you use the else, and this is all in the in this if conditional statement. These are all the conditional statements. You can work with them. You can try to find a use case where you want to. Use cases are like, if this is true, then I want to do this, else I want to do that task. So these are like, if it is raining, then I will stay in home, I will do some programming, and if it's not raining, I will go out and play football. So these kinds of conditional tasks are done with the help of the if-else statements. Now this is all in the if-else statements. You can also apply the if-else statement in a one line. Suppose let's say if x is not equals to 6. Let me create some space. If x is not equals to 6, you put a space over here and you can simply say print x. Okay, If you have only one line inside of a if statement, you can put it just afterward the colon that you gave, and if you run this line of the code, it will run perfectly fine and it gives you the output of 7. You can also use if statement in one more interesting way. Suppose I say print, let's say print hello if x is not equals to 6, else print world. Okay, so then you can see properly. Okay, so this is our code. Okay, now what I did over here is I wrote a if statement in the between, and if this condition is true, then this print will work, else this print will work, which is at the end point. Now if I run this line of the code, let's see what happens. And you see it gives me the output of hello. And if I say over here x equals to 6, means the condition is false, and it gives me the output as print world over here. Now this is all in the if else conditional statements. Now we will move on to loops. So let me remove all of this code. Okay, so loops are basically something that we want to do again and again. Okay, like we want to run a certain type of code again and again. So in those cases, we use the while loops, or the another kind of a loop is called for loop. Now what happens in the while loop is, let me show you the simple example of it. Dhuvankar Balkwade, yes, sorry if I'm spelling your name wrong. Input statement. Yes, I will explain input statement just in a bit. Okay, I missed it. I will explain the input statement, how we can take an input. Okay, don't worry, I will explain it. So what happens in a while loop is we just write a while over here, and we give it a condition like we give it in a if else statement. We say x is greater than 5. Okay, while x is greater than 5, we will run this amount of code, and we will say print hello. Okay, and here we give a condition like x is equals to 10, and inside of it we say x is equal to x minus 1. So what we are doing is we are saying x is equal to 10, and then we are using a while loop saying until up till x is greater than 5, keep running this set of code, whatever present inside of the while. And what happens is it keeps on printing the while loop, and then what we did, we say x is equal to x minus 1, means we keep on reducing the value of x. So at the first iteration, the value of the x will be 10, then the value of x will reduce to 1, it becomes 9, then 8, then 7, then 6. So if I run this code, it will print us the hello 5 times over here only. Now if I change the value over here, if I put it like 1, and it will print the value over here like 9 times over here. So this is the concept of the while loop. Now in while loops, sometimes we use like we say while true, keep running this statement. Now this is an infinite loop, and to stop an infinite loop, there are some statements present over here. One is the let me tell you here, break statement. Then another one is continue, and then there is same pass. Now these 3 statements are used with the loops. Okay, so what these 3 statements does is, break statement is whenever we use a break, apply a break in the loop, it just comes out of the loop. Now doesn't matter if the condition is satisfied or not, it will come out of the loop, whatever the loop we are running. Okay, continue statement, what it does, whenever we apply a continue statement, it suppose I apply a continue statement over here. Okay, now what will happen, the code will come up to this point, continue point, and it will not execute this line, and it will immediately go back to while again. Now continue means just continue the loop again. So it will keep on continuing the loop and will not go any further ahead inside of that loop. So sometimes when we don't want to run loop further loop ahead, we put a continuous statement and loop again starts. Then pass, I told you pass is to, like I'm using a while loop, but I don't want to write anything inside of the while loop right now. So what I will do, I'll just write a pass over there and leave it. So what happens is it will not give us any error, and whenever we want to write anything inside the while loop, we can just delete pass and we will write whatever we want. So right now this is an infinite loop. Why should print this? And if I run this much amount of code, and you see this goes infinite over here in the Python console, you can see. Now to stop the infinite code, there's this keyboard interrupt keyword present through which you can stop this infinite code. So, but I don't want the code to go infinite. Okay, I want code to run for the certain amount of time. So what I will do here is, yeah, x is 10 over here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say x is equals to, okay, x is equal to x minus 1, and I'm gonna put a if condition over here. If x is equals to 0, break. Now if I run this code, let's see what happens. And you see we've got 10 times hello written over here, and our loop stopped. But because it keeps on running loop until the value of the x becomes 0 and it reaches up to the if point, and where I wrote a break over here. A break means the loop has to stop and it goes it comes out of the loop. Whatever the program that we have written next, it will work on it. So that's why we use break and the continuous statements. Now someone asked me to, Jyotsana Sharma asked me to explain pass again. Okay, suppose this is my while loop over here, but let's remove all this. Okay, what I want to do, I want to write something else. Okay, I want to run, let's say, print hello. This is not inside of the while loop. Okay, this is outside of the while loop. I haven't decided up till now what I want to write inside the while loop. I'm writing a big program, but I haven't decided what I want to write inside while loop. So I was working on I hid our program, and I write other stuff like print hello, and I did some calculation. X is equal to 5 plus 7. Okay, I did all these calculations, and I left this while part. So when I run this much of the code over here, it gives me an error saying expected an indented block. So what Python interpreter is saying, that code inside of a while should be in the indented block. So it is asking me to put an indentation over here, but I don't want to put this much of the code inside the while loop. This is a separate code out of the while loop, but I can't run the program without giving it an indentation. So what I do is I put a pass over here. Now what pass does, it does not bother with the error part. Okay, oh wait a minute, I press the wrong key. Here, it does not bother with the pass whether I'm giving an indentation or not. It just executes the complete program. You see, earlier it was not executing, but now it is executing. So that's why pass does. Pass means it just pass the value. Whatever we are doing, it just pass the interpreter to go to the next line. Don't work over here, just go to the next line. That's called passing. Sir, can we use else statement in while loop? Yes, you can use the else statement in while loop, obviously. Okay, nice session. Whether recorded video is available? Yes, recorded video will be available on the YouTube only. You can watch the video on our YouTube channel. Continue skips iterations. Yes, continue not basically skips iteration. Like wherever you put a continue in the while loop, it does not execute code after the continue. Like suppose, let me show you an example over here. Further continue. Let's say if x equals to if x is less than equals to 5. Okay. Now print a value of x, and if x equals to 7, then continue. Okay, so this is the amount of, okay, so what we are doing over is we have given the value of x is 10, and we are running the code until x is greater than equals to 5. Okay, we are printing the value of x, but we are saying if x is equal to 7. Oh, wait a minute. Let's put print over here. Print x. Okay. So now if I run this much of the code, what happens is wait a minute. Okay, we are actually it's already going on in finite loop right now. Yeah. Earlier code was running. Don't worry. Now if I run this much part of the code, and okay, yeah, the syntax error over here. Now you see it is giving me 10 over here. It keeps on printing because I haven't reduced the value of x. So if I just also reduce the value of x, is like x is equal to x minus 1. Now if I run the code, let's see what happens. Now you see I got the value 10, 9 and 8, and after 8 it's say when it becomes 7 it gives the continue, and it does not printed any value or does not work over here. It goes back again to the while loop. Okay, so that's how the continue works. Okay, so this is all in the while loop, and now let's talk about the another kind of a loop, that is a for loop. I'm going to remove everything from here. And now for loop is the most powerful thing in the Python. Okay, it has got a wide range of variations, and this concept can convert your 5 to 6 lines of code in just a one line. Okay, and I will show you how. So for loops works basically like suppose I say for I in range 10, and I say print hello over here. And if I run F9 over here, wait a minute, it was running in finite loop because it was stuck over there. So again, if I run this much amount of code, you see, I said for I in range 10. This is a kind of a for loop syntax where we say for I in range 10 means I will start from 0 and goes up to the 10, and it will print a hello over here. So it print around 11 times the hello in our screen. Now you can here also you can apply that slicing concept that we use, but it's a little bit of a different. You can say start from the 3 and goes up to the 10, and if I print I over here, then you can understand more clearly. Now if I run this much of the code, and you see it starts from the 3, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so this is how the for loop works. Now this is right now we are talking about the for loop with the numbers. We can also put a stepping over here. We can say 2, and it will take a step 3, 5, 7, and we got the odd numbers over here. Okay, so this is how a for loop for integers or for the numbers work. But what if I do this? I want to use for loop on the string. Suppose for I in code warriors. Okay, and I say print I. Now if I run this much of the line of the code, and you see here it iterates through all those, means what happens is for I in code warriors means this loop works for 13 times because the 13 is the length of the code warriors, and each time it picks one character out of this code warriors and it keeps on printing it. So that's how it prints code and space then warriors over here. Now same thing we can do with the list also. We can just say 1, 20, 20.7, and if I run this much of the code, F9, and it iterates through that list and it gives us the output of whatever the values present inside the list. So basically this is called an iteration for loop. Same thing we can do with our tuples also, with the dictionaries also. In all of these things we can do the same concept. We just put a dictionary over here and you can print its value. Now I call it a trick. One trick in a for loop is, suppose I want a reverse of some numbers. Okay, suppose this is my loop over here. here my loop is this 3 comma 10 3 to 10. This loop is running, okay, and it gives me the output of 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. But what if I want the output opposite? Just opposite means like 10 9 8 7 6 5 4 3. So what are we gonna do? We there is a method in the for loop that is reverse, and if I put this method over here and I put a number over here, it gives me the complete output from 9 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1 0. I put some kind of a stopping point over here, like I say 4. Now let's see what happens. Okay, it does not work this way. Okay, it will goes up to the last point. So you put a reverse, then you put a range, and you give it a range. So it will start from the end point and it will goes up to the last point. You can test it by you can put it let's say 4 over here, and you put a over here. Now let's see if it works. It 9 8 7 6 5 4, because this is the starting point, this is the stopping point, but now we are reversing it so that they both becomes reverse. Now this 4 becomes the stopping point and 10 becomes the starting point over here. Okay, now the other special technique in is suppose earlier, like we created a code like for I in code warriors, and I printed this I over here. Okay, now when I run this code, it gives me column will be over here. Now if I run this code over here, now it gives me a code and a warriors as a list like this. But what if I want it as a list? I don't want it like this output. I want each and every character from code warriors into a list as a separate object. So what we can do basically is we can create a list. Suppose list underscore 1 equals to. Now you can say letter or letter in code warriors, and you close it like this over here. Now what happens is, let me zoom out a little bit. Now what here going on is, now for loop is picking each letter and it is giving this letter to the list 1, and you see list 1 is closed in the square braces, so all that value is getting inside of a letter and creating a separate object of it. So if I run this line of the code, you see here list 1 is created, and you see here every one has become a separate object over here. See, code warriors, all of them are different variables. Now if I print also, print list underscore 1, and it will print it completely like a list. Okay, and we have created one list. Now we can also use a if else statement inside of a for loop only. We can use a if else. Suppose I say something like list underscore 2 equals 2, and I say num, and I want to square it. Okay, for num in range, let's say 6. Okay, now if I run this, I have a code, what happens? Now you see I've got another list where from 1 to 5, or you can say 0 to 5, you see I've got this all squares. Okay, I've created a num square over here. All the nums are getting over here and they are getting squared and getting stored in the list variable. Now if I say if num and 2 equals to 0. Now mod 2 is this sign basically means is it calculates the remainder. Okay, it checks out the remainder. So what we are doing is whatever the value we are getting from the num, it will check its remainder, and if its remainder is 0, it will apply this method. So now if I run this, okay, there is an invalid syntax over here, and I don't know why this is giving this error. There must be something I'm missing right now. Okay, I will explain it later. There must be something wrong here. Maybe it works here. Let me see. And now percent 2 equals to 0. Sorry. 0. Now let's see. Okay, yeah. We use a if in the last. So yeah, I got confused. Basically, we use a if in the starting point also. That I will show you how when we use that. Now you see here, it gives us 0, 1, 2 only for the all the even numbers, and it does the square, not all the numbers up to 6. Now I told you earlier I used this if in the starting point. I use the if over here, right? Now we use if over here when we are also using a else statement. Like if I say else to a num q. Okay, so what I'm saying is if num is an even number, do the square, else do a q. Now if I run this code and put a F9, okay, again it is giving me the same error. Again I'm missing something over here. Okay, just ignore this line of a code. Okay, I have to check it what I'm missing over here. It has to work like this only. Okay, just anyway, ignore it. Now, for loop has also worked with when we want to concatenate, we want to iterate through 2 lists or 2 arrays. Like suppose I say my list 1 is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, and my list underscore 2 is equals to 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, and I want to work through both of the list in one for loop only. So what I do is for I in zip, not zip. What it does, it zip both the lists. So I will say list 1, list underscore 2, and I say print I. What it will do, it will just print. Wait a minute. Okay, I did not run these 2 lines of the code over here. Yes. Now if I run this, it creates a kind of a tuple between them. 1, 5, 2, 6, 3, 7, 4, 8. It just zip both of those lists together. Now that's the use of a zip when we want to create a tuples. When we want to merge 2 lists and create a tuples. Okay. So this is all in the for loop. Now we will. I've completed both the kind of loops, while loop and the for loop. If you have any doubt, you can put it in the comment section. So in the chat below. Okay, I will. While teaching, I hardly get a time to watch. But yeah, if you put it, I can. Can we sort list with only one loop? Obviously, we can sort a list. Yeah, good point. Good point. I just see Shubham Arbat had asked me. We can sort a list with just a 1 line, and to do that, we have to say like I've created this list over here. Like list unsorted, this list. Okay, it's okay, make it. Okay, so now this list is unsorted. So if I say for I in sorted, and I pass on the list name, my list is list underscore 2, and I pass in saying comma reverse equals to true. Okay. Now, if I run this much of the code, wait a minute. Yeah. And I say print I, and I press F9. You see our list is sorted and in the descending order because we have said reverse is equal to 2. True. 8, 7, 6, 5. And if I just remove the reverse from here, I don't need a reverse. Okay. And now if I run this code, now it is in the ascending order 5, 6, 7, 8. And same way earlier, like in this method, you can transform it into a list also. You can just put those values in a list, those sorted values. Okay. So this is all in the for loop and the while loops. I've completed all the loops. Now let's move to the one of the another interesting part of the topic, that is function. Shubham Jaiswal, yes, we are just starting the function and we are coming to the lambda function. There I will explain what is the lambda function is. Okay, don't worry, I will explain it. Now functions, let's remove all of this. Don't need it. Okay, let's start a kernel also. Okay, so while it is restarting, let's start our, now to create a function, basically we use a keyword called def, and we create give it any function name. We put a braces over here, put a semicolon over here, and we write some value over here, like print hello. Now basically what functions are, like if you want to put a certain, if you want to use like those, they are like 5 lines of code, and we want to use that 5 lines of code like in lots of places in the program. Okay, so we can't keep on using those, can't keep on writing those 5 lines again and again and again. It will make the program a lengthy program. Okay, so what we do is we put all those 5 lines of code inside of a function, and we call that function everywhere wherever we want to use those 5 lines of code. And I will show you what I mean by creating a function and calling a function. Okay, so suppose this is a function I've created with a keyword def, and I've used Jyotsana Sharma, you're asking num 2 asterisks and 2, what it is doing. Num 2 asterisk 2 is basically used to square a number. This is the syntax of squaring any number. Okay, yeah, thank you Sarvanshi Pradeshi for explaining it. Thank you. Okay, so functions is basically you put a certain amount of codes inside of a like I said print hello, and then I did some like code x is equal to 5 plus 7, and then I did something else. I put a if also statement over here, and I said if x is greater than 5, then do something like print world. Okay, this is all the code inside of a function. Now I want to use this much of the code in lots of places in the program. Okay, so we can't keep on writing this code everywhere in the program. So what we do basically is we just call this function, like calling the function means just write like this. And now if I run this program, let's see what happens. Now I printed hello world. Now if I don't call this, okay, it remains like empty. And if I run this, nothing will happen. There is no output. Okay, so this whole code is saved inside of a function, and this function cannot be, this interpreter will not execute this function unless the function is called. And calling a function means we call the functions like this, using the method name and put the braces over here. Okay, so this is how we call the function. Now in the function we use a return statement also. Suppose I want to return something out of the function. Okay, I want to use the value that comes out of this function in the further somewhere in the program, because right now we are just printing the values in the output screen, but we want to use that value in the program. Because if I just write here print x and I run this program, not defined, because in what happens to the function is, now it's a talk about local variables and global variables. So what happens is x is defined inside of a function, so it's a local variable for a function. X does not mean anything outside of that function. There is no scope of x outside the function. And if we have defined anything outside the function, that will work outside of the function, not inside of the function. Okay, I will tell you how we can use some global variables inside of the function also, that I will explain later. So what we do is basically to use this to get the value x out of the function, we use a return statement over here. I apply return x. Now what I can do is, now area, I can store it in some like x y is equals to x area, and then I can say print y. Okay. Now if I run this line of the code, and you see hello world, and I got the value of x, which came out of this function and stored in the variable y, and I printed the y, and it gives me the output of 12. Now this is called calling of a function, and creating function, calling of a function, and using return statements, the use of return statements. Okay, you just return some value outside the function. Now you can also pass some values, like I want to say, I want to pass some value, like I want to pass 10 inside of the function. So what you say, I am passing 10 over here, so I need a receiver, something like, okay, so I put a, like y, okay, as a receiver. So what happens is, now 10 will be passed from here, and y is a parameter present over here. It will accept the 10 value, and now if I just put a y over here and I run this much of the code, you see now x becomes 10 plus 5, 15, and we got the output as a 15 over here. So this is how we can pass the values inside a function. We can also pass a string. Suppose I want to say code. So what happens is, now we can do this. Definitely. Let's say I want to print y over here. Now if I run this code, we got hello code and 12. Okay, so it runs the code. We can pass multiple values, like I am running code. I can run also 10 over here, and I can put another receiver over as a z and make it a z. And now if I run this code, it says hello code 50. So this is how we pass arguments, and we need a receiver parameter present over here to receive that argument, and then we run that argument inside the function. And to use the value of a function outside, we use a return statement. Now sometimes what happens is, we don't know how many values we want to pass. Suppose let's create a function name, a def name. Let's create a function and print. Okay, I'm gonna print something. Okay, that let's leave it right now. And now I'm gonna call this name over here, and I'm gonna pass like let's say costume over here. It should be a string. Then I'm gonna pass another one like Mayank, or another one like Meenal. Okay, now these three names I want to pass. So what I do is, either I can create a 3 parameters there to accept my like x, comma y, comma z. I mean, they can accept all the 3 names. Okay, or else we can do is, we can just simply say x over here like this. And if you want to print, you can just simply say x0. Now if I run this line of the code, F9, and it prints the cost of over here as it is present in the index 0. Now if I say x1, and if I run this much amount of code, and it gives me Mayank. Okay, so that's how it will iterate through. So sometimes we don't know how many values we are going to pass inside of the function. So what we do is, we put a asterisk before the x, and what happens, it creates a kind of a list, and it will go, it will work inside of the list, and it will keep on it will keep on storing the items that keeps on coming. Okay, and we can, with the help of indexing, we can find what are the value we are having inside of that function. So now we are going to talk about as someone asked me over here, for the lambda function. Okay, so lambda is an anonymous function, and what happens, it's a one-line function. It's called a one-liner function, where what we say, like suppose x is equals to lambda, and a plus 10. Okay, what I did right now, x is equal to lambda, I'm sorry, a plus 10. Okay, and print x. So what happens is, it creates a function name x, and which has a one parameter a over here. The name of the function becomes x, parameter becomes a. Okay, that we will pass from here by giving a value like suppose 5, and the only one line is running inside of that function. Like right now, we were running lots of lines inside of the function, but right now in this lambda, we run only one line of the function, and we just write it like this. And if I run it, sorry, F9, and it runs perfectly fine, it gives the 15 as output. So this is a lambda function. We use it inside of the main functions like these to create a one line of functions for smaller jobs. Okay, so this is all in the functions. Now one small thing is left. That is modules over here, and it's a very basic concept. Most deeply you will understand when I will explain you tomorrow the Numpy and the Pandas will be using the modules. Then I will explain you much more in a advanced way about how modules are. But you can understand modules in a simple way. Like suppose I create a function, like suppose def area, a rectangle area, suppose. Okay, and I say pass two parameters inside of it, like a comma b, and I just give it a print a into b. Okay, so that's how we find the area of a function, right? But okay, that's how we find the area of the function, and we create one more function says def square area, and here we only pass one value, and it prints a square. So what we just do now, modules are like create a one file of a Python program. Like I've created this file over here. I'm not using any calling over here and nothing I'm using. Okay, I create one file, save the file, and call that complete file into your main program. Like suppose I just save this file over here. I'm gonna wait a minute. Okay, here is my I will save this file in my working directory, which was Python workshop, as let's say with the name of area.py. Okay, I've saved this file, and you see here in the file explorer section we got an area.py file over here. Okay, and we have saved this file. Now let's create a one more empty file, and what I do, I just do a import. Import area. Okay, and then I say, suppose I want to find the area of a square. So what I will do, I will say area dot sq underscore area, and I will pass the value 10. And if I run these two lines of the code, F9 over here, and it gives me the output as 100. See, I use this file over here, this particular file over here, to get an output over here, because in this file I don't have any such kind of a method present, right? I don't have a area.sq underscore area method or area file, anything. I've imported this file over here and I use that file. Same way you can also change the name. Suppose I want to say like area is a big name, I want to say just AR only. Okay, we create an alias like this, and we just now we will use just AR square, and it gives me the area. Now one more thing we can do right now, what we are doing is, if I say area.rec underscore area and I pass 10,20 and I run this whole code, and it gives 100 and 200. It's running both but I don't want both the methods inside the program. Okay, I only want the square method. So what we can do, we can say from area import sq underscore area. Okay, and now we can directly sq underscore area, and we can put a bracket over here and say 10. And now if I run this code, it will directly give me the 100. Now we don't have to even use this ar dot we are using. We can use alias over here. We can give it like sq only. That will change the complete code over here. And now if I run it, sorry, I did not run the whole line. SQ area, and we got the output as 100. So this is in the modules. Okay, tomorrow we will be using Numpy in the Pandas module. There you can understand more clearly how we use it. Even the machine learning model, where I will be explaining you, we will be creating hands-on model. There also you will see the kinds of modules and how we are calling those modules. Okay, so this is all in the basics of the Python. Now we will take a short break of around 10 minutes, as I'm pretty sure you got tired, and so that during that time you can also work all of these things over here. And then one of my other instructor, Mr. Mayank Bajaj, who is also the founder of our Code Warriors, will start the intermediate topic, object-oriented feature. Okay, so let's take a short break of 10 minutes and we'll be right back.
Hello guys, I am Bajaj. I will be instructing you about OOP, which is very important feature for machine learning. Without OOP, we can't even imagine what is machine learning. So guys, my colleague Kostu has done great of that. Till then, I would like to explain you about one platform which is very awesome. Guys, this platform is known as Dockship, dockship.io. You can guys view this platform. This platform is very much essential for all the machine learning engineers. In this platform, guys, usually what we do, we can upload any, as you can scroll down here, you can see that there are many machine learning competitions going on. You can participate in any competition and you can upload your own model. And moving further, guys, you can also here upload your own model and earn money from it. First of all, guys, you have to create your own account. After guys creating your account, you will get a dashboard like this. I had already created my account. So guys, for uploading model, you can simply go to my models, and guys here you can see that for uploading, you can upload a model for free without purchasing this developer pass. But guys, if you want to earn from your model, you can buy a developer pass for that. For buying a developer pass, its fee is 1499, guys. And what is the main feature that they will provide you in this developer pass? This will be valid for 2 years. And guys, you can upload any model at your price that you want to earn. And guys, you can also attend many guest lectures that will be arranged by Dockship. But guys, we have a surprise for you. As you are attending this lecture, we will provide you a referral code. Guys, you can go here on got a referral code, and you can enter. You can write. I am writing the referral code YBYPXNV and B. Guys, as soon as you enter this referral code, we will be uploading this referral code in our description of this live video. After it is finished, you can apply this. Guys, as a miracle, you can see it is directly waived to 249, which is a very nominal fee. You can easily pay 249 for 2 years. And guys, you can earn more than 249 by selling only one model. If anyone likes your model, then they can buy your model from this platform. Guys, you can see here there is AI challenges. But guys, one important thing to note here is that as per our Indian government, for purchasing or buying anything, or we want to earn anything, then we need to do KYC. So guys, you need to do KYC over here. Once your KYC is complete, directly your purchase, directly your earning will go into your bank account. So guys, you can look at this amazing website, Doxip. It is awesome website, and we will be providing this code in description, so you can look at after that. So guys, I hope everyone is back. Can I get a thumbs up in the chat if everyone is back? A thumbs up. And one more thing, guys. I want to clear you one more thing, that everyone is asking about certificates. Guys, after this session, we will be uploading this video as public, and you can comment in that video. Guys, we will be looking the summary of the video in that comment section, and we will give a Google form in the description of this video. First, you have to comment the summary of this session in this video only after it goes public. Then, guys, you have to take a screenshot and you have to fill the Google form. So guys, from this way you can get your certificate. But one more thing to note, that guys, you have to attend today and tomorrow's both session and upload take the screenshot of your comment and upload in the Google form, and then you can get the certificate. So guys, moving forward in my part, that is OOP. First of all, guys, I would like to introduce you about the programming paradigm. There are mainly two types of programming paradigm. One is POP and another one is OOP. POP stands for procedural oriented programming and OOP stands for object oriented programming. So guys, you may be imagining what is the difference between these two. There is nothing much difference, but guys, they both are different approaches. For example, guys, if you talk about main difference, then POP mainly focuses on functions. The main focus of POP is on functions, while the main focus of OOP is on objects. So guys, in OOP approach, we mainly focuses on objects, and while in POP, we mainly focus on functions. Guys, can you give me one example of any programming language that is POP? I would be looking in the chat section, guys. Yes, guys, Kandregula Kusumanjali. Sorry for mispronouncing your name if I am. C is the right answer. C language is procedural oriented programming. But guys, Java, C++, these are not POP. These are OOP language because they support classes and objects. C language is the POP language. Congratulations to those who have given the right answer. Guys, whenever we learn any programming language, first we need to know that which paradigm it follows. Either it follows POP or OOP. So guys, now you may be clear that Python is the OOP approach language. Python supports OOP. So guys, what is OOP? That I am repeating from since a long time. Guys, OOP is nothing. If I want to provide definition of OOP, then OOP is a method of structuring a program. We can structure a program by using OOP by bundling related properties and behavior into individual objects. Guys, what is basically meaning of this definition? Using OOP, we are first of all structuring a program. What is the meaning of structuring? We are giving it a shape. We are giving how the program will look. Then guys, bundling. Bundling means grouping things together. We are here making a group of different things. And then what are grouping properties and behavior? I will explain you each concept, guys, one by one. First of all, I would like to tell you that object-oriented programming relies on the concept of mainly classes and objects. Without classes and objects, we can't understand OOP. So guys, first of all, I would like to tell you what is object. Because object is nothing but object is simply anything that contains data, and data can be in form of properties or method. Guys, now what is properties and methods? So guys, properties is properties is that we can say it as attribute. Attribute and properties are interchangeable words. Properties are something that store data, and methods are something that identify the behavior and action that an object can perform. Guys, I know there is many terms in this. First, let's take an example so that you would be clear with this part. So guys, let's take example of an object. An object can be anything around our surrounding. A chair, a car, a human, everything can be an object. So guys, I will be taking example of a person. So guys, what basically a person is an object. So what will be the attributes or what will be the properties of that person? It will be his name, his age, and his gender, and many more things can be, guys. Its attribute. I am taking just basic example. So a person will be an object. His name, age, and gender will be its attribute. And guys, what is meaning of methods here? Method will for example, a person can dance, a person can breathe, a person can swim. These all are dancing, swimming, and breathing are all the methods that are an object that an object acts on it. So guys, the method are the actions that an object acts on it. So guys, from this example, I think that you I first ask you a question. Do you think that whatever we are doing in OP that we can do in this dictionary anything? Guys, your answer is just a section. Can you do this same thing that we are doing using class with any other data structure in Python? Guys, waiting for your responses. Let me continue, guys. First of all, I would like to tell that we can do the same thing using list. For example, let's suppose we want to create three objects using list. First name, let's suppose Harry. And as I told you that we will be using three attributes. First attribute will be his name, Harry. Second attribute will be his age, let's suppose 25. And third attribute will be his gender, let's suppose male. Okay. Then guys, we will be looking forward at second example. That will be, let's suppose, Vinod. You all may be knowing about Vinod. He is very trending now, guys. Can we have a hashtag Vinod in our chat? As Mumbai police has also, guys, tweeted about him. Why can't we hashtag Vinod in our chat? So guys, his name will be Vinod. Then let's take his age as 1 because he is invented in last 5 to 6 days, I guess. Then let's take him as a male. Then guys, third example we will take of Carrie Minati, who is a very good YouTuber. Take his name as Carrie Minati. We will take his age approx 20. Then he is also a male. I hope guys it is visible to you all. So guys, we have taken 3 examples. What we will do using class, that we will create a class of person and we will create 3 objects like this only. But why OP when we can do same thing using list? So guys, to clear this dilemma, I will give you 2 disadvantages of this approach. Guys, if you will use list in this approach, then what will happen that after a very large amount of code, when we have for example suppose 200 or 300 person, then we may forget that what 0 index represent, what one. It is very hard to remember that 0 index represent name, first index represent age, second index represent gender. For example, guys, suppose we want to know the gender of Binod, then we need to write Binod of 2 like this. Okay, let's run this, guys. As you can see, guys, here male is printed. So this way we have to access the value using indexing. But guys, if we will use classes, then we don't need to remember any index. We can just simply write here binod.gender. Then we will get his gender. This is so simple, guys. So that to reduce the complexity, to reduce the hard coding, or to reduce the remember, so that guys we are using classes. And let's take one more disadvantage of list approach. For example, suppose Carrie Minati forgot to write its age. Then guys, when the object of carry will be created, it will contain only two index, 0 and 1. And let's suppose we want to know the age of carry. What we will write? We will write carry of 1. But guys, do you think we will get the right output? Guys, your answer in chat, I am waiting. Do you think we will get the right output? Yes, right. We won't get a right output. Good response from few of them. Anshul Verma, Nathan, then Wahid Hussain. You are right. We won't get the correct output because guys, when we are accessing the value, we don't know that either this value is missing or not. But here actually the value of age is missing. So when we print this, we will get the answer as gender. Instead of age, we will get the answer as gender. So guys, as you can see, if there are missing values, it is very hard to access the values using list. So guys, we won't use this approach. So moving back to our file. So guys, first of all, let me explain you how can we create a class. And class, what is class? First of all, guys, what is class? Class is a blueprint for creating objects. Class is basically providing a structure from where we can create objects. So guys, first of all, to create any class, we need to write class keyword. Then after, followed by this, it will be a class name. After guys writing class name, we have to use colon. And in this is the body of class. So guys, everything in this will be the body of class. So as you can see in guys our first example, we have a class name person. And guys, you may be wondering why I had used a string here. So guys, here this string is known as doc string. What is doc string, guys? Doc string just tells us about what this class will do. We are basically giving the definition, or we are giving the instruction what this class will do. I will tell you how to access this string, guys. Then guys, we are here defining a variable age, which is an integer variable, and guys, it is a class variable. There are basically two types of variable in OP, that is class variable and instance variable. I would comment here, guys. It is a class variable. So guys, this is a class variable. What is the meaning of class variable here? Then any n number of objects we create here over this class, all can access this age variable, because this is a class variable and it is accessible by every object in the class. And guys, we are creating here a method. I told you that a method is that acts on that object. So guys, this method is greet, and we are simply printing here hello. And guys, what this self keyword will mean, you may be wondering what is this self keyword over here. Guys, this self keyword basically provide the reference to the object which is calling. For example, guys, I created an object named carry over here, and then I am calling carry.greet. Then guys, the reference of carry will be passed over the self keyword. So guys, this is the basically use of self keyword. Now guys, moving further, I told you we can access this age variable using any object. Moreover, guys, we can also access this age variable using the name of class. The name of class is person. So guys, you can see here that we are accessing the age variable using name of class like person.age. Guys, let's print this. We can, guys, this is spider 4. You can use F9 for printing. First, you have to select the part which you want to print. So I had printed this, guys. You can see we had got the value that is 10. Here I am zooming little bit. See guys, we had got the value 10. So guys, we can access this using class name also. Now guys, I told you earlier that I will also be telling you how to access this document thing. So guys, for this we have a special function that is known as doc, _doc, _. So guys, followed by class name. As I guys run this part, you can see we had got the documentation thing. So guys, if we got any class, then we don't know what this class performs. It is a very good practice to write a documentation string before defining any class. Now guys, how to create the object of that class? For creating object, we just need to instantionize the class. For that guys, we need to write the class name, then followed by the parenthesis. If guys, our constructor take any arguments, we have to pass over here. Then guys, here is the name of object. Let's run this part, guys. So we have created an object named Harry. You can see in guys variable explorer. Here guys, Harry is the name and person is the type. So person is the class name. So it is an object of that class. Now guys, how can I call this greet function that I had initialized before using the object name? And our object name is Harry. So we can call it using harry.greet. .greet is the function name. Let's run this guys. We will get the output as hello as you have seen over here. And similarly guys, I had told you earlier that age variable can be accessed by all the members also, all the objects also, as well as the name of class also. So we can also call the age variable using this object name. As we write print harry.age, you can see that we had got the output 10. So I hope that guys you are clear with the basic implementation of class, how a class works. There's a many concept left. Let's move further. Then guys, here is we are creating different class and object. So guys, I am creating a class of parrot over here. And guys, again, I am writing a class variable or class attribute we can say, or class property we can say, name is species. Species is assigned to a value that is known as bird. So sorry guys. So any object that will be created using this class will also have that variable predefined. We can directly call using any object, or we can also use calling the class name. So guys, here is the main function, that is init. Guys, what is init function? If you know about C++ language or Java language that support OOP, then guys, there is a constructor. In those languages, the constructor is initialized using the name of the class. But in Python, there is a special function that is known as $init. So guys, whatever will be written inside this will initialize the object. Here we are taking guys two variable, name and age, two value from the user, as well as the object will be created with providing these two values. Then the object will be created and initialized also. You can see guys here, I am creating an object named BLU, and I am passing the name as BLU and age as 10. So guys, let me run this part. So guys, the object blue is created, you can see over here, and it is a parrot object, and it has two variables. We will learn how to access these two variables. Similarly, I am creating one more object that is WOO. Now guys, how can we first access the class attributes? To access the class attribute, guys, we need to just call object name dot species. As you can see over here, guys, I had told you how to call the class variable. Here you had seen that. Similarly, we are seeing how to call. So run this part. You can see guys, here it is printed blue is a bird and U is also a bird. As we had written here, blue is the then format will print whatever written inside the blocks. So guys, here it is printed. Now guys, how can we access these two variables, name and age? This is guys very simple. We need to just write the name of object, then use dot operator, then write the name of instance variable. Guys, as you can see here, we are using blue.name and blue.age. And this is the guys where if you don't know about dot format, you can read the documentation, and we have a dedicated course for Python in our channel that the live stream is going on currently. You can also view that videos for clear understanding of basic Python. And so guys, here we had created two curly braces. It means that we will provide value of two variables. First variable will be blue.name, that will be printed in the place of this curly braces pair. Then blue.age will be printed over this curly braces pair. So guys, first blue.name will be, we will get the output. You can see similarly for WOO, we will get the output. Here you can say guys, blue is 10 years old and U is 15 years old, that we have passed while creating the object. So guys, till here I think you are clear. If you have any doubt, you can write in the comment chat section, guys. Guys, f-string, yes, f-string is also good. There are different approaches of writing print statement. We can use format. Instead, guys, we can also use, let me show you one more approach. We can also use comma separated, like blue dot, wait a minute. First I will write here blue dot name. Then guys, I will write comma. Then what is our is, followed by space. Then guys, another comma. Then I can write here age. Then guys, years old. Guys, as you can see here, sorry. Oh, I don't need to separate it with comma. My mistake. Because guys, comma automatically provide a space. Guys, as you have seen here, there are different approaches for this one. This is not limited. F-string is also one good approach. So guys, Divesh Patil is asking why we had used dot format. Divesh, we don't need compulsory to use dot format. You can see same example I had done using printer only without dot format. It is up to you which is convenient for your user. Then next doubt. Guys, don't spam about certificate. Guys, take the main aim as with learning or take the main benefit by learning from this session. We will provide you link as I told you earlier. You will get this some description. Okay guys, let's move further. Now guys, I am creating here 122 functions, then I will call here. This is nothing new, so I will move little faster guys. Here we had created a class named parrot. Then guys, as told, I had created an initializer that is also known as constructor. And in this initializer guys, we have again two same variable name and age. Then guys, here we have two methods. First one is sing, that we are printing, that we are taking one input, that is song, and we are printing the output. Similarly guys, in second we are just getting the name of the bird and we are printing that is now dancing. So guys, let's run this part. Then the name of the bird is blue and the age is 10. So guys, here I am going to print the sing function. As we have to pass one compulsory argument here, the song type. So guys, as you can see, blue sings happy is printed over here. If I pass here anything like rock, you can see here guys, it will print blue sings rock. I hope you had understood here. If you know basic implementation of function, then this is nothing new for you. Then guys, same blue is dancing. Okay. Now guys, now comes the main three main part of the OP part, that is inheritance, encapsulation and polymorphism. We will learn all the three concepts here by taking one examples for all. But guys, do you know what is inheritance? If you have learned about C++ and Java, you must be knowing what is inheritance. Can I get some answers in the chat section? What is inheritance? Guys, look, I want to know the mindset of you all. So I am asking you again and again questions so that you can be interactive, guys. Sir, how much time this session will continue? Mansi Sharma is asking. Mansi, hardly 20 to 25 minutes more. We will end the session. Mansi, don't worry. You have another webinar. We will end this within 20 to 25 minutes. Accessing, Ronit Verma Anand is saying, accessing members of one class from another class. Right answer. What basically is the meaning of inheritance is that we can use we can have two classes. One will be known as parent class and one will be known as child class. We are basically deriving the attributes and method of one class from another class. As in this example, guys, bird is the parent class from which we are importing or we are inheriting the features and functions of penguin class. So guys, whatever function is inside the bird class can also be accessible in penguin class, and it can have modification also. We can modify the function as per our need. So guys, here first initializer, that is constructor. Here if we create any object, then it will print bird is ready. Then here it is a function who is this, which will print the bird. Then guys, we are having one more function, that is swim. It will print swim faster. So guys, now this is the parent class and we are inheriting child class. So guys, how to perform inheritance? It is very simple, guys. As you have seen in this example, I have to write first class, then class name. Then we have to take a pair of curly brace, sorry, round bracket, and we have to write the name of parent class over here. So guys, if you write the name of parent class over here, then this class name, this class will be inherited from that parent class. So guys, as you can see in the example over here, penguin is our child class and we are inheriting it from the bird class. So here inheritance is taking place. Now guys, for penguin class, we have one constructor, that is, I am explaining this from starting only guys. Init function is a special and it is an initializer, or it is known as constructor. Guys, here main concept comes. What is super over here? Is this a Superman or any super villain or superhero? It is nothing like that guys. Super is just, we want to call parent class initializer. Super is anything that is used to call from parent class. If we suppose that guys, we have same function name from here, who is this, also same function name over here, who is this also over here. If I want to call who is this of parent class before calling this of child class, then here also I can write guys like this, super dot who is this. So guys, what this will basically do, this will call the parent class who is this function, then it will execute the body part of child who is this. So guys, let me comment this. So guys, the super keyword can be used for variable also, can be used for method also. So guys, there is a vast use of super keyword, but guys, in our machine learning part, we don't need to go in deep of this, because in machine learning, we just need to know the concept of objects, classes, functions like this. So guys, you can see here, first of when we create the object of parrot, first of all, the base class initializer will be called. And then guys, it will print the penguin is ready. So then guys, we have two functions, who is this and run. Guys, here I am creating an object of penguin class. As soon as I run this code, guys, can anyone tell me what will be the output? Which line will be printed over here? Just guys, give me the count of lines. Don't need to write whole. One line or two lines. Just write this guys. We will get the output as one line or two line output. Two lines, right. DVS part, sorry, Manas O'Hara, Ritik, Mopatra, good answer, guys. Two lines will be printed, because as I told, if anyone have doubt, again look over here, guys. As I told you that what will super keyword do? Super keyword will call the first function of parent class. So we have to look at constructor of the parent class, that is bird is ready. So first guys, bird will be ready is printed. Then guys, penguin is ready will be printed. Let's first run this code, guys. These two class. Okay, guys. Now I can run this object. As you can see, guys, here two line is printed, as I explained to you. Now, guys, if I will print Peggy, who is this? Then, guys, what will be printed? Penguin will be printed, because we are not using super function over here. Same, guys. Peggy.sim. What will do here? Run swim faster. Will call, guys. Now here is the main part. Why if you can see, guys, in penguin class we don't have a swim function. So when we call peggy.swim, then also it does not give us error. Why? As I told you guys, we can inherit all the methods and variables from parent class using inheritance. So guys, swim is defined in the parent class and it is inherited in this base class also. So guys, peggy.swim does not give us any error. Now guys, peggy.swim. Peggy.run will print run faster, as we have a modification. It is not in our base class, but we had added this functionality in our child class. So guys, to sum up these all things, inheritance is basically importing or extracting or inheriting all the methods and functions, or all the methods and attributes from parent class, and we can also modify and add our new in the child class. So guys, I hope you are clear with the basic implementation of inheritance. Now guys, in encapsulation, what basically encapsulation means, guys? Encapsulation means that guys, hiding data. How can we hide our data and how can we group our data, guys? So guys, in data encapsulation, I have created a class computer. Then guys, I have created a constructor that is max price. Guys, here one thing to note here. I has used double underscore over here. Let me guys remove this. I have used double underscore over here. I will tell you the difference between these both. First of all, let me remove double underscore from all the places. So guys, what this function logic is doing, it is initializing a constructor. Then it is setting the max price of the object to 900. Then if you are calling sell function, it is printing the max price over here. And I have a setter function also, guys, that is set max price, and we have to pass the price, new price as the argument. And when we pass that our new price over here, it will update our old price. Let's run this part, guys. Guys, I am creating here object C. C dot sell will print what, guys? The max price. As you can see, the selling price is 900. Again, guys, removing double underscore over here. Guys, I am setting max price 100. And again, if I print C dot sell, you can see, guys, max price is updated. But guys, suppose we have some data that is that is, we can say, private, or that is we don't want to expose to others. So guys, we can make that data to private. So guys, in other languages like Java, C++, we have a keyword called private, but that's not in the case of Python. We can use, guys, double underscore to tell that this is a private variable. So guys, if I am using double underscore over here, then guys, it means that it is a private variable. So guys, now again, let me run this function and call the sell method. So guys, as you can see, selling price is 900 again. And guys, if I try to update this value and again print the sell, as you can see, guys, here clearly, this line won't give us any error, but it won't update the value of max price, because using max, we can't, guys, we can't update the value of this private variable outside the class. There is only one way to update this. sorry guys. There is only one way to update this private variable, that is using the function that is inside this class. Here we have created a set max price function, guys, so that we can access our private variable over here. Guys, we can access private variable inside the class, but not outside the class. So guys, keep this in mind, the concept of private variable. So, and we are passing here a price, and it will then reassign the price. So guys, here we are setting max price to 100. Now guys, let's see, is it updated or not? Yes guys, successfully it is updated. So guys, I think you may have understand the basic concept of max private variable and data encapsulation in this part. I am not extending this all, guys, because these all are not much important in machine learning part. My main objective, or our main objective, is to tell the part of Python that is will be used in our machine learning part. And guys, for your goodness, tomorrow's session will be full on awesome, because it will contain, guys, Numpy, full Numpy tutorial, then guys, full Pandas tutorial, then last, guys, at last we will made a live machine learning project with you all, guys. You can also see the code there, and you can also implement. I will give you the time for implementation, and guys, you can ask your doubts in a live section. So guys, before approaching to the, guys, our last part, I would like to tell you something about one of our partners. Our one partner is Athena Store. Guys, this is an awesome website if you want to gift anyone something. Guys, I personally had bought sketchbook from this website, and it is very awesome, guys. Guys, you can see that here they are providing us awesome sketchbooks. Then guys, here they are also providing us magnetic stickers. So guys, you can use them to gift this to anyone, any birthday party or anywhere else, guys. You can provide this. First of all, guys, I would like to tell the few steps. You will get a, guys, discount if you buy from our code. Guys, here you can see the price is 498, and if you will add to cart, guys, you they are not providing us any commission. Just we are telling you because they had sponsored our website. They had, sponsored our event, and as well as, guys, these products are very handy when we need to give to anyone. Guys, you can see that the price is 498 over here, and if I want to get a discount, you can apply the code, guys, code warriors, over here, and guys apply. Guys, you can see that you had got a flat 10% discount using this code. So guys, this is valid for a few days only. So guys, you can use this code and purchase some awesome sketchbook or badge magnets, guys. They are also providing badge magnets. So just check out this website, guys. If you think there is something you can buy from this, then you can absolutely buy using our code. So guys, this was just a part. Moving further to our session. So guys, in the last part, we are going to talk about polymorphism. So guys, what is polymorphism? Can anyone just tell me in few words what is the meaning of polymorphism? Yes, Shubham, right, and many forms. Polymorphism means many forms or the poly. What is the meaning of guys word poly? Poly means different. And guys, I am getting more responses. Hmm. Mathala Vamsi. Sorry for if I am wrong pronouncing your name. You had also written good answer. Having more forms of a function. This is also a good answer. Yes, many forms. Right answer, guys. Good response from your side. So, guys, using polymorphism, how can we use polymorphism in our function? So, guys, here I had first created a class named parrot. Then, guys, we are two functions. One is fly and one is swim. So, guys, we are printing here parrot can fly and parrot can't swim. And for penguin can't fly, but they can swim. So, penguin can swim. So, guys, we are simply printing here messages for the function. Then, guys, I will move to guys. So I am creating here one more function that is flying test. This is a common interface. What will meaning of common interface here, guys? I have to pass the name of object over here, and it will call the function irrespective of the class. Okay, guys. So let's take example. I am creating first run this class, guys. And guys, after this, I am creating two objects, that is Blue and Peggy. Guys, as you can see here, if I will use flying test function, and guys, one more thing, this is not a member function, flying test. As you can see, guys, here we are not using self. Moreover, guys, one thing to note that in every member function, the first argument will always be a self. That will provide reference to the object that is calling the method. And guys, outside this class, we are defining this function. So this is not a method anymore. This is known as a function. Guys, there is no difference between method and function, but we use different terms where we use this function. If you use any function outside any class, then we call it as a function. And if you use inside a class, then we term it as a method. So guys, here you can see I had created two objects. Then if I will call flying test of Blue, then it will print parrot can fly. Parrot can fly. Because guys, I am here using bird.fly method. Similarly, guys, I can create here. I can similarly, guys, create here flying. Instead of flying, I can write here swimming test. And guys, instead of fly, I can write here swim. So guys, let me run this function also. And guys, if I will call, guys, you can use tab keyword to autocomplete. So guys, here if I write run, guys, you can see here swim function of parrot is run. So parrot can't swim. Similarly, guys, you can explore yourself. We are just this session is just for guys introduction of Python. So that guys for tomorrow guys, you can understand the concepts of Numpy and Pandas and machine learning that we are going to implement. And guys, this month is full of surprises, full of events, full of gifts for you all. You will also get attendees benefits in this session also. Guys, after this we will have every Saturday or Sunday we will be having a workshop or any event, guys. There you can participate, and if you perform well, you will get goodies or stickers like that also, guys. So guys, here, as you've seen that guys, we can run like this also. But I will also like to tell you the alternative way, that is by object. So guys, here, as you can see, we had created two objects, blue and Peggy. If I write blue dot swim directly, then guys, it will call the swimming of blue. So guys, same. If I write Peggy dot swim, similarly, it will print the guys swim function of Peggy. So guys, you can see here, we don't need to repeat this thing. So we are creating a function over here as a common interface for all this. So guys, I hope you are clear with these examples. You can write any doubt in your comments. Guys, before taking your doubts, I would like to convey you one thing, that guys, don't worry about certificates. After this live session ends, guys, after this live session ends, then you will be provided with a link of the Google form. And as soon as the live session ends, this video will be public. And after the video will be public, the comment section will be enabled. And you can comment there, guys, after this session. And you have to take the screenshot and you have to fill the form for the certificate, guys. And guys, don't forget to miss the tomorrow's session. And guys, one more thing, that you have to comment on both the sessions and upload the. We will also provide you spread the Google form tomorrow also for the same purpose of certificates. The one who will be commenting and filling the form in both the days, they will be provided with the certificate. So guys, I have to take some doubts. What we have to download for tomorrow's session? Guys, nothing. You can use any Python IDE. But I will like to suggest if you are guys going to learn machine learning, then you have to use Anaconda or Anaconda Navigator. You can download that. I am personally using this only. And guys, tomorrow's session will be completely on Jupyter Notebook. We want to guys provide you all the experience of all the IDs, so you don't be deprived of any IDs. Today we conducted a whole session on Spider, and tomorrow we will conduct a whole session on Jupyter Notebook. Guys, you want notes? Guys, look, you had watched the session today. You can make a note of yourself. You can guys make a note yourself, and you can also guys revisit the video if you think anything is missing or anything you did not understand well. Any more? Let me take some doubts in chat. Which type of data structure and algorithm required to learn machine learning? Good question, Ritik. For machine learning, guys, we don't need to know any data structure. Just we need to have basic programming logic. Then, guys, we need to have the knowledge of libraries like Numpy, Pandas, sklearn, this type of libraries. You don't need to be a master in data structure for this. What is the actual difference between inheritance and polymorphism? Prapti Bisen is asking this question. Prapti, here inheritance means we are deriving, or what we can say, we are inheriting something from our different class or parent class. We are inheriting from another class. But polymorphism, it does not take any relation, or it does not explain anything about inheriting. It just tells that if we have two classes and we have inheritance between them and they have same function, so we don't need to call each function one by one. We can create a common interface, or we can come up with any good idea. So guys, you after both the sessions, you will get a link of Google form from our sponsor, that is deeplearning.ai. Guys, if you complete the survey form, you will get a 50% coupon code. You will get directly 50% waive off in their courses, and you can then purchase their course at a 50% off price. And guys, you can find wait a minute, guys, you can make a schedule for tomorrow's session. Guys, you can go to our channel Then guys, here we had say, guys, you can see here we had provided you the schedule. You can here guys set reminder, and guys don't forget to like this video also guys. And guys, if you have not subscribed till yet guys, I would recommend you to subscribe this channel. Guys, let me give you this the chat section also. Guys, I had provided you in the chat section. You can follow, you can like and schedule for tomorrow's session. And guys, last thing before ending the session, you had learned this so many things from Code Warriors in today's session. So guys, I think that you have to know about Code Warriors. What is Code Warriors? Guys, we are an e-learning startup. Guys, we provide every courses for free, of course. We don't charge us any cost for any videos, any video lecture, anything like that. Guys, you can see that on going browse our courses. You can see we have 4 courses, guys, basically machine learning, natural language processing, Python programming, and computer vision. We have guys, and we have some video on awesome projects, guys. You can see over here also. So guys, we have we have courses on these domains. You can visit our courses. And guys, we are offering a very good thing till 15th August, guys. This offer is only for 15th August that I am going to tell you. Guys, you know you can watch that video for free, of course. But what if you stuck at any part of the video? And what guys, if you are in final year or any year, third year, second year student, and guys, you want to make projects, some amazing projects using Python, ML, or NLP, or guys, you want our mentor support like that. If you have any doubt anytime, guys, you can ping our mentors directly. We will connect you with our mentors also, guys. And guys, we will also give you some premium content. We had made awesome cheat sheet, guys. Then we had some awesome ebooks for providing you. We also provide you guys email newsletter subscription. We also be providing verified certificate to you all after completion of these courses. So guys, you can buy this at very minimal price. You have to just scan this QR code, make the payment, and guys, you can go to sign up button over here. And guys, you have to fill this form with your details, and you have to upload the transaction screenshot and transaction ID over here. And guys, you can here write referred by you can write here guys Code Warrior workshop. So guys, if you are looking forward, I would suggest that you can purchase this course. And we have also solo courses, guys. If you want only one course, it is of 100 rupees price. And this is a very nominal price that guys you can purchase over here. And guys, after 15 August, there will be a very huge hike in this prices. So guys, I would suggest you to buy these courses till 15th August. And guys, if you have any doubts, you can contact over here. We have provided a contact form over here. You can fill this form and we will be reaching out to you for your contact. And guys, for a FAQ section, you can reach this part and you can see like what is Code Warriors and what are the price of courses like this, guys. So I hope guys today's session was very good for you. You have learned many things from this session. And guys, I would like to thank you for attending today's session and looking forward to meet you again in tomorrow's session. So guys, till then, keep learning and stay safe at home.